Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody, follow on with hello and welcome to another episode of The Watch with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Make some noise. Yes, indeed. Clap it up. Get excited wherever you are. We are back with another action-packed show for you today, covering the world of boxing and beyond on this show, on this incredible, auspicious occasion of an endeavor of enjoyment, excitement, entertainment, and outright analytical takes and opinions, at least by yours truly. You might not think it's analytical, but you know what? Doggone it, it's going to be fun. I can promise you that. But hey, we're here. We're back on a Wednesday, not a Tuesday. We had to handle some stuff on Tuesday afternoon, unexpected events, so now we had to go and do what we had to do. But now we're back. We're going to give you 3 straight shows back to back to back this week, today, tomorrow, and Friday, covering the world of everything that we normally do with boxing, with the NBA, NFL, and all that stuff, with you along for the ride, and we appreciate it so much. And if you're just tuning in, hey, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Come on, be a part of this. Come join the empire. Be a part of the hottest show in all the globe right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. Rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts. Also be sure to leave a like on the video right here on YouTube. Means the world to us, means the world to me. Helps to push the show out to the algorithm. Let everybody know this is the place to be when it comes to the world of sports and entertainment. Also be sure to go ahead and hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable, so you never miss a show of what we got going on right here on The Welch Report. And please, if you can, the most important thing, just share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire. Together, all with you and your support, we can make it possible to grow into the hottest ticket in town and all of the social media airways, and it's all with you and your support making it possible, so we appreciate it so much. And if you would like to support the channel, hey, we got Cash App and PayPal links down below in the description, as well as super chats and gifts and whatnot. If you can support, it would mean the world to me. It helps me to pay the bills, helps us to upgrade this show to make it better, bigger, and stronger, all for your viewing and listening pleasure. But without further ado, we got a whole bunch of stuff to cover. We got Tyson Fury that we need to dive into with his return to the ring. We got SHAKUR and TEO, some other tidbits of analysts in regards to the slickness perspective, as we have SHAKUR Stevenson saying, hey, I know exactly how to beat this brother, going on Andre Ward's and Ward on Jr.'s podcast, as well as a couple other things that we need to discuss in regards to the world of boxing. We will delve into right here, right now. So without further ado, hey, we got boxing to cover. We got sports to delve into. We got you, the people, to entertain. So with all that being said, it is time to step into the ring. Well, wrong button. Hold on, wait a minute. Here we go. Hit the wrong button. Here we go. Round 1 of this show going underway. And real quick, just taking a swig and drink to make sure that I'm hydrated for this show. But we can honestly, we can go either way with this type of situation. Now, honestly, I think the first thing we'll dive into is, in fact, the news of Tyson Fury. That's right, the Gypsy King is back. Oh my. Can you believe it? Yes, it was speculated. Yes, it was rumored. Yes, it was talks abounding throughout the boxing world. Hey, will he come back? He's talking about making a return. We see him in the gym. Is it fully confirmed? Well, now, apparently by Tyson Fury himself, it is officially confirmed. The Gypsy King is back in town for one last run to get to the top of the throne. Yes, indeed. Hey, this could be great or it could be detrimental. And there's a lot of different questions involving what exactly Fury can bring at this stage in his career. With the last fights that he had, again, was against Usyk in the 2 wars that he went against with Usyk for the undisputed title. However, now just been a year, maybe 2 out of the ring, while Usyk has done all that he wants to do from the sense of moving and working, thriving, and attempting to go and keep on dominating this heavyweight division. Others in the heavyweight division, like with Ajit Kabayel, like with the likes of Mosa Talma, like a bunch of other people, who have had the ability to really amp up their level as a fighter in this division, while Fury is hoping to hold on to the vestiges of what used to be his division in his own skill set. As we knew with the waning legs of Tyson Fury, the mover, the shaker, the 6'9", 6'8" type of dude who could come through and still dance with the best of any division. Seemingly, that size was almost seemingly impossible to beat. However, now, the tables might turn a little bit. I would love to hear from you all and your thoughts as to how his return is going to go. We're going to play some clips as to what he has said in regards to his own return and how fervently we are going to see this potential drive of Fury's stay put. Because mind you, one of the biggest things about Tyson Fury was the fact that we didn't trust that Fury really was about legacy anymore. And it was, especially with the $500 million asking price that he wanted for him to fight Usyk, and afterwards, saying I'm not in it for the money. We had just had a couple of months ago, we just had a podcast where we were playing a clip of Tyson Fury saying, almost in one of the most genuine shows of real emotional appeal that I seen with Tyson Fury in anything regards to retirement, where he was like, okay, it might actually stick this time. He had said, yeah, I ain't got nothing else to prove. Family's good, money's good, my legacy is still set in stone, which is all true. So there's nothing else we really have to, be concerned about. I've given everything I could to the sport, with also him saying that he would not want to fight the likes of Moses Talma, and I'm saying, God bless you and well wishes to everybody who's in the heavyweight division right now, but I'm done, and now seemingly off in a sudden turn of events, which is, again, we can call Tyson Fury the Big Show. If you're a WWE fan, not just because the butt is big as all get out, but because the fact that the butter, like the Big Show, keeps on changing his mind every single couple of months. It's ridiculous. From a heel to a face was the Big Show's thing, and from retirement to unretirement is Tyson Fury's thing. But I'll let Tyson Fury tell you himself exactly how he feels in regards to him retiring from the sport of boxing. And also, we got people in the chat. I'm about to read you, Burr, right now. Give me 1 second to actually play this. I'm trying to have a little bit more of a more a more quality and substantial seamless transition in regards to how we go and play with these images and photos when it comes to playing it for the viewing and listening audience. So what you're about to hear and what you're about to see is Tyson Fury talking about his retirement and whether or not it is legitimate or not. And in this case, he says he's back. I'll play it right here for you to listen.
Everything in the sports.
I've won literally everything from the regional belts in England to Super World titles, Fighter of the Year twice, Ring Magazine twice, WBC, every one of them, every world title belt there is. But for me, there's nothing else other than fight game. I love this fight game. It's not for financial gain. I could have retired 10 years ago. I made an absolute fortune. It's not about the money, although I always want a good deal, for sure. It's mainly about the love of the fight game and the sport. I'm 37 and 38 this year. I'm older than a motherfucker, but I love to fight. I have zero other interests, only fighting. I was born and raised to fight. My destiny lies within the fight game.
Yes, sir.
Hey, look, so as you can see, it seems like the fire and the love of the sport is indeed back. Hey, wait a minute now. This can be great. Now, I know what you may feel. Hey, look, it's a money grab. It's a cash grab. He even said himself, hey, no, to talk about no prices in reference to him as a fighter who, hey, look, you are going to pay me. I get that. However, if this is real, well, then great. Because let me tell you this right now. One of the drawbacks of this division, not even drawbacks. One of the issues of the division was that it was a lot of young and growing talent, but Usyk reigned supreme and nobody else was coming close to him. Understandable, because he beat everybody. Now with Tyson Fury back, yes, he did beat Tyson Fury, but it adds that kind of final, with the current landscape of the heavyweight division, it adds that pizzazz, that everybody wanted to see. Everybody wants to, everybody loves to see. With Tyson Fury back in the mix, with now matchups galore on every single side. You have AJ Caballo. You have the likes of Moses Atalma. You have the likes of Usyk, Dubois, even Anthony Joshua. However, even with Anthony Joshua, hey, we might have some stuff to talk about with him in a couple of minutes, because reportedly, the buddy's talking about retirement in his own right, and we will discuss that right here on this show. But the name value of the heavyweight division, as much as it is, profitable, as much as it is well known, at least well known than what it used to be. With Usyk again reigning at the top, and everybody getting the flowers because everybody's chasing the one big crown. I'm not gonna lie, with Tyson Fury there, it does add another layer of excitement and appeal. Another layer of, in all honesty, just straight up entry. That, yeah, this buddy, he might be 38 years old, but he still is Fury. Now, with that being said, still is Fury. That comes with the question of, well, how much of Fury is still Tyson Fury? That's the bigger question. That's the real question. How much of Fury is still Tyson Fury when it comes to his return to the ring? Can we have other clips of him training and working the heavy bag? We have clips of him running around, and he has looked, it's going to sound bad to say, but the brother on a consistent basis, hey, he looks like a bag of milk. And that's not me being mean. Be clear, that's not me being mean. That's his normal MO. And also, real quick, before I even continue, hold on, I need a bird. What's going on with that? I said I was going to say hi, and I'm going to say hi right now. How you doing? Good to see. I delayed it a little bit, only because I wanted to make sure we got that clip off so the public could see what was going on from the sense of Tyson Fury's own rhetoric of wanting to come back to the sport. So that's why I had not say hi to you. But again, like I said, leave your chats in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on anything involving the world of sports and beyond. Absolutely. But even still, going back to Tyson Fury, we don't know how much he's got of him in the tank left as the dominant, still uber elite, second best heavyweight in the world. Yes, it could be considered, even at this stage right now, the second best heavyweight in the land. It is hard pressed, even with the up-and-coming names of the heavyweight division. It's hard pressed to say that anybody else under Usyk deserves that claim, except for Tyson Fury. Especially when Fury gave Usyk the toughest fight of his entire career. He did. In that first fight, or the second fight, depending on which one you value more. I thought the first fight was more rocky, was more strenuous, was more, unpredictable is the wrong word, but was more on the flux than what we had with the second outing between them. But even still, even now, at 37, 38 years old, with a brother who is indeed, yes, at the end of his career, still a monstrous figure for people to have to deal with and try to, actively beat. I'm gonna tell you this, I wouldn't be surprised if this brother could, if he is able to sustain or get back to that type of body, that type of mindset, that type of driven mentality that put him at that point in time against Usyk into the best shape of his career ever in his life. At least from what I've seen. He can make a run. He can make a whole nother run. And as you can see, we can play clips of him training in the world of, is this Miami? I can't remember exactly where this is. I'll let you actually see it for yourself as you transition over into picture in picture. As you can see, and there is music there, so I can't, I'm not trying to copyright or get copyright, but I'll play my own
I'm
music,
already so far from where I used to
but
be,
as you can
and
see,
I'm proud
Tyson
of
Fury
that.
working, running,
Every step
training on
I've
the
taken,
beaches,
no matter
looking
how
to
small,
get back in
has
shape,
moved
get back
me
in
closer
cardio.
to becoming the person I want
And
to be.
it's probably
not
going
just
to be
about
a
the
second
destination,
before he really
but
gets
appreciating
into,
the growth
the
along the way.
boxing
I still have a
abode
long way to
with
go,
his body.
But I'm
than
already
he used
so
to
far
be. And
from
as you
where
can see
I
right
used
now,
to be,
hey, buddy,
and
this
I'm
long
proud
layoff,
of that.
even for Tyson Fury
Every
being
step
somebody
I've
who
taken,
is
no matter
not
how
necessarily the
small,
most
has
put
moved me
together
closer to becoming the
athlete
person
from
I
a
want to be.
aesthetic perspective.
It's not just about the
I'm gonna tell you
destination,
this is clear
but
as day. Hey,
appreciating
he's
the
got some
growth
work to do.
along
He's got
the
some
way.
work to do. I'll be the first one to say that. Hey, buddy, you got some work to do. You got some work. And there's another video that I'll be putting and placing up there to show you him working the heavy bag actively legitimately in the gym, preparing for this fight, or rather for this, incursion to get back into the heavyweight division. But it's like he's. There's a lot of questions. I would like to hear from you all on what you got to say. Also, let me see. Bob, let me see. Watch you. Yeah, watch you. What's going on with it? Hey, buddy. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. What's so happy that you're back? What's up to you and everybody that's tuned in and listening to the show? Who are your current top 5 heavyweights in the world? Well, I mean, right now, it's outside of Usyk, in no particular order. Usyk and Fury is coming back. Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois, Ajit Kabayel, and then for me it's a Talma as fifth. From a talent perspective, if you want to go the other route, okay, fine. Anthony Joshua, but even with hold on, maybe not Anthony Joshua. Hold on, let me take that back. Because while he returning and beating Jake Paul does not make you top 5 in the heavyweight division. It does not. Let me rephrase that real quick. I might have to. Let me not think from just a straight up name recognition standpoint. Yeah, I'm thinking wrong. I'm sorry. It's Usyk at number 1. And then, with no particular order as set right now, Fury, Wardley, then Ajit Kabayel, and then Daniel Dubois. Those are my top 5. Joseph Parker, 6th. AJ, 7th. 8th. Maybe not ranked at all because the brother looks like he's retired. Genuine. I'm dead serious. That's a better personification of the list. Usyk, Fury, Wardley, Kabayel, and then the likes of Daniel Dubois, Joseph Parker, Anthony Joshua. While he rounding out that top core per se from a talent perspective. Yeah, you got Philip Herkovich, you got Derek Chisora, who has been on a tear recently, could potentially earn himself a title opportunity. You have those, then of course you got Moses Talma, who can quickly boost himself up into definitively that top 5 from a resume and talent perspective. Like I said, he's only got 14 fights in his career. It's about the same as Richard Torres, though he has stepped up his competition, knocking out the likes of Dillian White, now getting ready to fight Jermaine Franklin. Hey, okay, we can see that elevate and push forward. Right now, that's about my best top 5 that I can think of when I'm talking about the world of boxing. Again, look, hey, Johnny Blaze, look, thank you for tuning in. So glad you're here. Hey, man, I didn't diss him. That's why I reconstituted, I recalibrated. Mind you, I wasn't trying to diss nobody. I simply had to rethink. Because I was going off of strictly a name value. Nah, the talent and the core of boxing, yeah. Wardley's in that top 5. In fact, you can argue he deserves to be second in the world if you really want to, with the fact that he just beat Joseph Parker after also beating Justice Hooney, knocking both of them out. Even though Joseph Parker, I think it was a bad stoppage. Regardless of which, he won from the depths of despair. He pulled out a victory. Now he's the IBF champion. Has the cards to where he is one of the main men that you have to run through to get to a decision. Or excuse me, to get to undisputed. My bad. You got to go through it. You have to. I don't care if you think he deserves this opportunity or not. He fought, came back, and he was able to do enough. What do you think is fair? And now he is even if you say it's unfair, you can't deny this, but he's still one of the most destructive punchers in the entirety of the boxing landscape right now. Again, the UK Deontay Wilder, not for in a negative light, but because he can pull a rabbit out of his hat and put somebody to sleep with one shot straight up without any form of real technique, just for the sake of power and grit. Right now, he's a faster version, or shoot, he's a combination, dare I say, of Joe Joyce and Deontay Wilder. From the destructive power he's got to be able to put somebody out with one shot. That's there. Not saying it's to that caliber, but it is amongst, okay, right now, he fits the bill, as well as he's eating punches left, right, and center. Defense is not the priority. Just like with Joe Joyce. He'll tank punches until he can't no more. Now, is that going to last long? I don't think so. I'll tell you this. I don't think it's going to last long with the way that he's going about defensively. Because just like with Joe Joyce, once that chin fails, everything else falls asunder. That's what I think is going to happen. But if it doesn't, okay, great. We can see the man thrive and succeed. We can. We truly can. And we'll find out as he's eyeing the likes of Tyson Fury. And he wants to fight Tyson Fury as one of the first fights back. Or not first fight back. As one of his first title defenses, if possible. Once we see Tyson Fury get his own defenses, or get his title defenses, put in, not title defenses, I'm sorry. Once we see Tyson Fury get his ring rust shaken off with an in-ring turn. Now, who he's going to return against, I don't know. That is, in fact, a whole nother conversation. I'll be completely honest. I don't know who Tyson Fury would want to return against, because it's a crossroads, because he should not fight somebody in that top 5 from the standpoint, at least for me, to make sure, okay, he can really be back, so we can see him, truly ease back into the world of boxing and get back comfortable with his rhythm, with his footwork, with his body, with his newly acclimated body. Because again, the buddy's 30 years old, ain't fought in over almost a year and a half since the Usyk fight. So we gotta, we gotta be mindful of that. He's operating with the car that got, that's been sitting down for a little bit. So I don't think he should be going out trying to fight the likes of, the Wardleys or the Usyks or the Dubois as his first stint. I don't think so. I dare say he could fight a fight with Jared Chisora, but even Jared Chisora might be a risk with the way that he's been on a tear over the last 2 or 3 fights, aiming for that 50-0 or not 50-0, but that 50th fight on his resume. Looking to go out with a bang. At least his words, not mine. So, who knows who he's going to fight? I would love to hear from you all as to who you think that person will be in regards to Tyson Fury and his returning opponent. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Let me keep on reading with you all. I got to say, I thought the Parker stoppage versus Wardley was bad. Yeah, again, I did as well. But like I said, it's he did have him hurt a couple times, as well as we were seeing a man who, in all honesty, he still is a viable threat, even with that, what some would call a very frustrating defeat. He still is a viable threat. Do you think Fury will return versus the top 10 at least? Because of my belief that it's still got to be worth a monetary value for him to come back, I'm going to say yes. It will be a top 10. It will. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say, now, whether that is the smart thing is my other concern. Whether that's smart is my other concern. I don't know if he should come back towards that. Because I'm not going to be like the other people and say, yep, Tyson Fury's back. I can't wait to see him against all these other dogs. Put him against Joseph Parker. Put him against the likes of Chisora. Put him against the likes of, Martin Bacoli, F.A. Jogba. Put him in the ring with all these people, and they'll be able to go through and just shine like the former not even former, like the great that we knew him as when he left the ring against Usyk. Yeah, it can happen. I'm not of that same appeal. I'm of the appeal that it ain't easy. Just coming back and trying to will your way into, okay, yeah, I can just get off my couch after a 1.5 year long layoff with me already being very sporadic and quickly on a downtrend of how I was performing in my career. Mind you, this ain't like Terrence Crawford, who, while he was only fighting 1 time a year, he was looking sublime every time out. Capped off by Canelo Alvarez, looking like some of the best Crawford we had ever seen against an opponent who was indeed a bad dude. For his legacy in Canelo, and for a sense of a greatness perspective. Tyson Fury, we ain't saying that everybody's looking just as right as rain since his return. We are not saying that. We're saying this cat is he's in a boat where he can be great. He can still reign at the top. He can get back to that position of undisputed is in his vicinity. But it does not mean that he can get there just as easily with how he has constructed his own style, which has changed. Now, people said fervently, hey, I think that the Tyson Fury that beat the likes, or that fought the likes of Usyk that first or second time, would be able to do damage against anybody in the heavyweight division. But can he get back to that? Can he? Mind you, that was those two Furies were some of the most dedicated, hungry Furies that we had seen from the standpoint of, I gotta get myself right. This is a big deal for me. So I don't know if he can get back there. I don't know. Let me see. What about Tyson Fury and Andy Ruiz? He is also coming back. And Ramon Vasquez, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. We appreciate it so much. And that is actually, that's actually a phenomenal matchup. That's a great match. I'll tell you this. I didn't even think about that. But that's a match that makes sense. That's a match that makes all the sense in the world. And Ruiz, in all honesty, at this point in time, whether it's Deontay Wilder or whether it's Tyson Fury, would fit the bill for both of them to have a returning bout against. And if Tyson Fury was going to fight, I wouldn't be mad at it at all. Not at all. But I don't think it would happen strictly because the money that Fury still desires for comebacks. Yes, he said in the clip, yes, sure, legacy is the biggest thing about it. That's okay, fine. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But track record, even amongst that clip, you did say, you're going to get your paper. You're going to get your bag. You ain't just come back for nothing. Even if legacy is the main thing on your mind, you ain't going to come back for just nothing. And because of that sentiment, that understood notion, there's a clear and present, I don't want to say danger, but there's a clear and present precedent that when we're looking at that, when we're looking at him coming back, it is not going to be just for anybody. Even though Andy Ruiz would be a perfect matchup, he wouldn't bring the money that Fury would want, even in a returning bout. Though that would be, in my opinion, the best way to see where you are in your career right now. Either that or Jarrell Miller. One of those two. One of those two would be my perfect fight, to have you as a comeback fighter for somebody who, these fighters have been used as barometers for others in the world of boxing in the heavyweight division to show where they are, what they can do, and how much they can succeed at this point on in their careers. It showed what Andy Ruiz is right now. That brother is not able to come back to a championship caliber. Also, we got what is that? How do I say this? Also, we got somebody in the chat. Is it Emerald Roman? I think it's Emerald Roman. If I'm saying it wrong, I do apologize. But I believe it's Emerald Roman or Emerald Roman. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. We're so happy that you're here with us on today. Appreciate you showing up. And again, I apologize if I screwed up your name. Not trying to. It's all love. Trust me. It's all love. But hey, if you would, leave a like on the video, leave a like on the stream, and keep on commenting your thoughts and opinions. And hey, keep on sharing the show with the masses around the globe so we can keep on making this show the biggest and most exciting show we can make on not just on today, but in all of the globe. We thank you all so much for tuning in and just spending time with us. No question about it. But even still, Fury is against Ruiz to be the perfect matchup, but he won't take it because it doesn't bring the monetary value that he wants. Even though as a fighter, he can bring that money by himself, he still wants a bet. If we're going to let track record speak for what he is as a fighter, as a talent, as a star, because he is a star. Be clear. He's a star. Megastar. Somebody that can move the needle. We talk about faces of boxing. He is still one, might not be at the same zenith, but especially over in the UK and even here in the States, buddy, he can move the needle. He can move the needle quick. He can talk the game. He can walk the game. He can work the game in a way that very few have ever been able to. One of the most polarizing figures in all of boxing. One of the most polarizing that we've seen arguably in history. Full stop, at least in the heavyweight division. We've had a lot of people in the heavyweight division. But also, let me, if you wanted more further proof as to what Tyson Fury will look like as he returns to the ring, I found the clip so I can play the clip now for you all to see him working the heavy bag. Bieber also returning to face Mantle. Yep, I did see that. We're going to talk about that later on in the show, more with the other topics / championship rounds. But Bivol is coming back. If you did not know, in my opinion, the fourth best fighter in the world returns to the ring against his mandatory opponent off of back surgery. Where will that lead? We will delve into that later on. Oh, yes, we will, because that's a very interesting topic for what can potentially be a very short stint retaining that top spot as the best light heavyweight in the land, depending on how his injury is going to affect his boxing career. Because again, like with the NBA, like with the NFL, we've seen it with Dwight Howard and others. Once your back gives out, once that back surgery goes, even if you repair it, if it ain't the same, most of the time you're worse for it. And you feel the effects. Athleticism goes down. Ability goes down. Reaction time goes down. All of it. Power, speed, everything takes a hit. Because the base of where all that comes from, the back, the support system, is damaged. It can be bad. But let me see. Who else will bring more money than Ruiz other than Anthony Joshua? Well, AJ, of course, will bring more money than Anthony Joshua. Or AJ will bring more money than Ruiz, no question. Usyk will bring more money than Ruiz. Absolutely. All of the top five, Caballero, Wardley, all of that, they would bring more money than Andy Ruiz. No question. But as currently slated right now, from a business perspective, well, where do you find Andy Ruiz as a marketable fighter right now? He's fallen so far from the graces of what his former glory of being unified heavyweight champion. I don't know how the world Ruiz, even though his name is notable, cachet, people don't really, move. It'll be for Tyson Fury, absolutely, but from the big time standpoint, I don't know if Ruiz is going to do it. Again, we're thinking in the minds of Tyson Fury. From a regular business perspective, yeah, Ruiz seems like a perfect name. But from a Tyson Fury perspective, which we still have to take into account, the businessman that he is, he ain't going to come back just for anybody. And even though Ruiz may seem like a good fit, just like I said when he was active in the division, the brother, he's not going to fight everybody unless he's guaranteed that, yeah, he's going to get a bag in kind No matter what he says about legacy, he's going to get a bag, and he's going to make sure whoever I fight is going to get me a bag. You can argue Derek Chisora will have more of a shine than him, especially with this retirement tour that he's got going on of one last hurrah fight against Tyson Fury. You can argue that could bring him back. Bigger than the likes of Andy Ruiz. You can argue. Legit, especially over in the UK. Oh, gosh. And they'll be fighting for what, a fourth time or fifth time, however many times they've been fighting each other monetarily as a first fight comeback. Yeah. Now what, would Fury bring more money than a rematch against Otto Wallin if he wants to do that? Or would Ruiz bring more money versus Otto Wallin if they rematch each other to Otto Wallin and Fury? I would think so, yeah, but even still, yeah, trying to get into the mind of how Fury thinks, there's a threshold where some opponents, in Fury's eyes, are chump change. Now, it may seem harsh, but that's the truth of the matter. There's some opponents where Fury sees him as his chump change. That's not what I'm coming back for, even though I need to come back against somebody it's not high caliber. So I would think it's the best option, but for Fury, I don't know, because Fury is the way that he thinks it is different. It is, it's different. And then again, Anthony Joshua, at this point in time, there's a lot of rumor reports that Anthony Joshua would retire. Let's be real about it. And in fact, we can kind of we can slightly take a detour and talk about Anthony Joshua real quick in regards to this whole comeback with Tyson Fury. Hey, buddy, Anthony Joshua's talking about, or reportedly it's been talked about, as to say, yeah, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm retired. After the crash in Nigeria, losing two of his close friends and trainers, which is an incredibly heavy toll on the mind of anybody, let alone somebody who just came off one of the biggest paydays and highs of his career, all of a sudden crashing down to earth because of unforeseen circumstances and horrible situations that occurred over in Nigeria, where he sadly got into a car crash and his two best friends passed away, who also was trainers, came up with him. It's like, that's a lot. That's a lot. And him saying, if it is true that he's reportedly, again, allegedly, and nothing's confirmed right now, but allegedly, if it's true that he's done, I can't blame him. I'm not going to fault him and be like, what are you doing? Because I get it. That's a heavy toll. That's a heavy burden. That's a heavy load that you got to carry on your back, as a sense of, yo, I'm struggling. Grief is an insane thing. Facing your own mortality. Having your world turned upside down when you were celebrating the biggest moment of one of the biggest moments of your life, where you were being celebrated across the globe. And now it falls asunder. It's like, yo, that's hard to do. Think about it. Mind you, Tyson Fury came back from the verge of literal suicide. He legit came back from almost ending his own life, and was able to return into what we see with the Gypsy King now today. That does not make it's an incredible level of strength. But if he said, you know what, I recovered, I got my life together, but I'm done with the sport, I couldn't knock him because of where he pulled himself back up from. If you just said, I'm done with this and I got where I need to be, nothing more, like the same level of applause. The same level of applause. And we would understand if he backed away. Anthony Joshua was the same thing. And the whole thing with AJ was the fact that we could see him fight Tyson Fury. Of course we want to see that fight with Tyson Fury. No question. No question. Jake Paul was supposed to be, again, the ring rust shake-off fight. And then he was supposed to have another fight in February. And afterwards, then fight Tyson Fury. That was what the trajectory of their clash was supposed to be. And now because of outside circumstances, yes, it's gotten derailed. I understand. And I am not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, give me what I want, when I understand that there's a bigger standpoint in life that is being taken into account. No question there. None whatsoever. That being the case, I can't use AJ at this point in time as a, real viable option for Fury, because I don't know if he's going to be here for Fury. So hence why, even with AJ being on the table, but Ruiz might just be the best name. He might. Will Fury take it? Does he think that Ruiz isn't worth the time? That's on Fury, because we've seen it before. We don't know. There's plenty of people that Fury could have fought in the past that was seen as, you're not worth my time. In fact, Usyk was one of them up until the money came up. So, that's why we're sitting where we are with Anthony Joshua and that Tyson Fury thing. That comeback fight would be incredible. But that was supposed to be the crescendo. That was one of the end goals in this year. After a fight for both AJ and Fury's, both of them then would meet up with each other probably in the summer. That was the speculated timeline. Now I don't know if that's going to happen. And I can understand if it doesn't. All that we can do is hope and pray that we see Anthony Joshua, mentally recover, physically recover, and emotionally recover. So that this is even on the table. That, okay, yeah, I still want and I still have that desire to continue fighting. But until we get confirmation word, okay, yeah, he's not done. I can't put anything with AJ as a real substantial, opportune fight to happen. Though I would want to see it. I absolutely want to see it. Let me see. Ruiz has the Mexican support. That's why. That's enough. Why would they bring more money? That fight sells out anywhere. Again, arguably, I don't think it sells out. Well, again, because it's Fury, yeah, it sells out anywhere. Yes, because it's Fury. Yes, sure, it will sell out because it's Tyson Fury. I just think that Tyson Fury, even with them talking about legacy, still wants the duality of hype so that he can get maximum funds, even with this talk of legacy being done. But again, we'll see what happens. Casuals are no more than casuals now. Casuals no more. The name of Andy Ruiz, then Caballero, Moses Atalma, Miller, Torres. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that one moment in time caused him to be so, polarizing with him beating Anthony Joshua. That, yeah, everybody who doesn't know boxing still somewhat remembers. Hey, I remember, that brother. And I remember the fat dude who went and beat Anthony Joshua. Of course, yeah. Oh, he's fighting again. I didn't know. Some people are asking, is he still champion? And they way behind, but even still. It's, like I said, it's a fight that makes sense. I'm not fighting you on the fact that it's not the most credentialed fight from the standpoint of everything makes the most sense that should happen. I'm saying from Fury's perspective, like I've said with other fights involving Fury, will he take that fight? I just don't know. Because does he see it as worthwhile monetarily? I just don't know. That's the thing. That's the whole issue. It's not whatever I may think, and even it falls in line with y'all. Whatever I may think still doesn't hold a candle, because Fury can absolutely feel, Ruiz is not worth my time. It's not a comeback fight. That's just fodder that I don't need to get back in the ring with, even though that's exactly who we should get back in the ring with. And so outside of that, what you want, Martin McCauley? Mark McCauley, F.A. or Jogba, even though they were supposed to rematch each other? Do you want to test against a heavy hitters when you can't move like you used to? Not saying you still can't beat them, which you can, but like that's the question. We're gonna be debating that a whole lot, and I still want to hear your thoughts and opinions as to who you feel should be the person that he comes back with. But again, if you haven't seen, this is what Fury looks like as he's coming back to the ring, because this is the current landscape of Tyson Fury as a fighter. This is the build. This is the Fury that's returning. As you can see, I gotta keep it low because they playing James Brown. I ain't trying to get no copyright, but you can see right here. Hey, this is the body that's gotta be molded back into heavyweight shape, and this type of body I would think you would hope that would fight the likes of Ruiz as it's currently built right now. But you have to understand. Tyson Fury, yes, built, doesn't look built great. Has never looked built great outside of the fights that he had with the likes of Usyk. But even with that being the case, this layoff has affected him in a way physically that, okay, there's more than just a chiseled work that's got to be done. The fat that was on him was mobile fat. The whatever flab and stuff was on him when he was active, it was still mobile. It was his build. It was still in the confines of this is me and the best version of me. This type of fat that we see with Tyson Fury now, this is not good. This version of Fury, physically, this ain't the Fury that I want to see come back. Now, see, he's got to be ripped up with abs. But there's a distinct difference in flabby, like we saw with Andy Ruiz, flabby and outright overweight. This is outright overweight. What he's been throughout his entire career has just been straight up flat. There's a difference. He's got to mold this back into the moniker of what he used to be. Can he? At 38 years old. That's the struggle. That's the struggle. And the work is going to take to get back to that Fury. If he wants to be able to succeed. Because again, this heavyweight division is, especially at the top, is looking a lot more condensed with the level, or rather not condensed, a lot more dense from the standpoint of talent. Closely knitted together than what it used to be in the past when it was Fury, Usyk, AJ, Wilder, and then everybody else. It's a lot more rumming through the fog, per se. A lot more trees you gotta watch out for. There's a lot more obstacles in the way now of you being at this top of the mountain. And with this type of build at this point in time, again, he's got to turn this into the old Tyson Fury. And at 38, that is not easy to do. It isn't easy to do. We've seen it tried. We've seen it done, but it was still something taken away. We've seen it. Okay, you look good, but you ain't the physique and the execution. You're not matching up anymore. Now it's out of sync because the boxing rhythm is gone. And one of the biggest things about Tyson Fury is rhythm. Be clear. One of the biggest things about Tyson Fury is the fact that rhythm is one of his biggest MOs. Rhythm is one of his biggest acclaims to why he's able to be so successful. Rhythm is the beat at which he can go and move, flow, box, clinch, brawl, overwhelm you, dance around. All that. It's a rhythm. With every boxer, it's a rhythm, but with Fury specifically, it's a real rhythm. Yeah, that's one of the biggest bases of his talent. If he can't find that, especially if he struggles to find it in the midst of a fight, They can get dangerous. They can get really dangerous. Let me see. Nobody knows Martin McCauley, and he's too risky for Fury to fight right now. People know Martin McCauley, but it's not, again, as well known. I understand. That's why I do get what you're saying. Have you seen Andy Ruiz back training? He looks slimmer. At this point, I have, and I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And here's why. The same issues with Andy Ruiz are, while it's not at the same detrimental concern, it still is a concern that I have for Tyson Fury, because Andy Ruiz, when he let himself go from the standpoint of when he had it all, and then he got unfocused, he went and ballooned up, lost to Anthony Joshua, then said, I let stuff get to my head, and then subsequently afterwards trying to get back to that type of mindset as well as boxing, was boxing production of when he was, still, big, but still had the fattest hands in the division. He couldn't do it. He had a slugfest with an old King Kong Luis Ortiz that was well past his prime. He was getting rocked against the likes of Chris Arreola. He had a slugfest with him. He had a draw with Jarrell Miller in a fight that honestly Jarrell Miller should have won. It's like, and he's slim, big, all that stuff don't matter because he hasn't been able to fight like he needs to fight. He hasn't been able to fight at like the core Ruiz, or that Ruiz that was, had 2 losses on his career at that point in time, and was moving up and actually earning spots in ranked positions. He couldn't get back to it. He couldn't, and part of the fact was because he was older. Part of the fact because he was trying to rekindle the drive, and he was too far gone. And part of the fact that his talent just wasn't there anymore. And when it comes to Fury, that is a concern. Is that talent, when you got to rebuild it back up after a very long time out the ring, mind you, not even training. He's been on trips, been with his family. He's been enjoying the good life, all that stuff. Some of the similar things that we've had with the likes of Errol Spence Jr. Being with his family, going on vacations, which is all well and good. Not saying that I am speaking against that. Be clear. I'm not trying to say that, oh yeah, you shouldn't enjoy the fruits of your labor. You shouldn't enjoy the money that you've earned. You shouldn't spend time with your family. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that he is in that same boat like them. That, hey, you've been out for a minute. You ain't been in the gym. You have potentially lost some level of fervor. And even if you got it back, you are now older, substantially older than you were without keeping the engine oiled up like you're supposed to. So now you're essentially trying to cold start the car and then lubricate it back up to where, okay, it's working clean like it should. And in some cases, it don't work. In some cases, it don't work. In some cases, it don't work. So I'm like, man, I don't. Oh boy. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know where it's going to be. I don't know how it's going to be. For both of them. And that's where the biggest concern lies, at least for me. Let me see. There's the video. I'm looking for the video right now. I think I actually found it with him coming back into the ring. The problem with Andy Ruiz, is that he's very undisciplined. Yeah, that's a big issue. That's a huge issue. He's very undisciplined. Incredibly undisciplined. The brother he should still be, now should be the day that we're saying that Ruiz is on the downtrend of his career. Okay, we're starting to see the effects of a career start to, take hold. I understand him. We were saying that when he was at the peak of his prime with the upset win. One fight after. Oh, this ain't good. He said it himself. He put himself in this position. He did. He put himself in this position. He put himself in this position. Shoot, he even had an opportunity to fight the likes of Deontay Wilder when Wilder was coming back. Got offered like a good chunk of change to fight Wilder, and he turned it down. Asking for more money, even though sure took in that fight. And now, you messed up. Monetarily and from the standpoint of recognition. You could have been the guy to beat Wilder. While Wilder was still looking like, okay, hey, there might still be something left in the tank. Could have been you. It could have been you. But you got greedy and you still did not support yourself like you're supposed to. It's like it's a shame. It's a real shame. He's been in the gym. Manny Robles got him on point. He's changed the man. Oh, well, I hope so. Like I said, I hope so. I'm looking for the clip of him training. If I can. If I can find it, I think it's here somewhere. If I can find a clip of him working in the gym, I will indeed show it. I will absolutely show it. I just got to make sure I can actually see it. I think I've seen it from February. Also, I'm saying it's from 2023 and 2022. I'm looking for stuff from today. I'm looking for stuff on today, but I ain't seen nothing as of currently slated of this year. But hey, if you can shoot, if you got the video, hey, put the link inside of the chat, and I can copy and paste. I can put it in on my computer, and I can actually find it, so we can actually see how he's looked of 2026 and toward 2025 last year. Because I haven't seen anything, or at least currently, I'm not seeing anything past 2023 training wise. But like I said, could be looking in the wrong place. Understandable. AJ versus Ruiz rematch, similar situation to Duran Leonard rematch. Yeah, no, it is. It is. Now, granted, it's a little different. Andy Ruiz and AJ, Ruiz had time and knew when the rematch was. And he said himself that he let partying in the life of a winner, the life of a champion, get to him. And which is why he showed up on that night. But he knew when the date was. Sugar Ray Leonard, offered the rematch, used his ability and power to essentially wait till the last minute to call for that rematch to happen. And Roberto Duran had to after partying, after again celebrating, and all of a sudden he gets a call, hey, you got to fight. It's in 3 weeks. Leonard now activated his rematch. You got to go now. And he went through and said, okay, yeah, I'll accept it. And he spent the next 3 weeks strictly cutting weight. He was like 180. Up with a potential 190. He had to cut weight all the way down back to 135 just to get in the ring. Or was it 147? Whatever weight that he fought it. He had to cut weight because he was surprised by the rematch actually occurring because Leonard held out. And then afterwards, you saw the no more situation because his body could not keep up. He wanted to fight, but he is strictly trained just to get in shape for in the ring, just to make weight, not even conditioned to go the distance, let alone fight at the manner that we saw him fight in the first fight. And so there's some parallels, but there are definitely a little bit of circumstantial differences as to why each of them occurred. But either way, if we want Ruiz to come up and show up, and if we want Fury to do the same thing, both of them, like we see in the gym right now, better be on their P's and Q's. They better be. Because if not, it's going to be an issue. Let me see. The fighters that left Manny and went to Eddie, Team Canelo, came back to Manny, Valdez, and Ruiz. I didn't realize that was a thing. I did not realize that was a thing that was occurring. From the sense of many people that left Manny came back to Manny after going to Eddie. I don't think I've ever put that together. Huh. That's actually really interesting to think about. I'm not going to lie. Now, what does that say about Team Canelo? I'm not even going to delve into. Because like I said, they've built and brought up champions before. But every coach don't work for everybody. I've been saying that for years. Every style doesn't work. Every gym coach doesn't work for everybody. Now, if find somebody that works for him, hey, I ain't got no problem with it. Just show up and be ready to fight. That's really all I can say. No question. Let me see. It's on Andy Ruiz's channel. Okay, so I'll go to Ruiz's channel and I'll look it up as while we're still doing this show. But while we are waiting, we still can go through and talk about other aspects of the world of boxing, like you see in the thumbnail. Hey, more talk as we build up to the likes of Shakur versus Teofimo Lopez. Off of a clip that we saw with Shakur on the broadcast of Andre Ward and Roy Jones Jr. talking about what we can see Shakur, what we're going to see Shakur do in his fight with the likes of Teofimo Lopez. Shakur gave some insight as to what he thinks is going to happen. Not just what he thinks, what he knows he can do against the pitfalls of Teofimo Lopez. And I'll let him be the one to tell that story as we delve into the world of picture in picture. Where's that? Right here. For you all, for viewing and listening public. Let me make sure that you all can see it. Okay, yeah, good. Y'all can see it. Here we go. I'm playing a clip right now for you all to witness and enjoy.
I don't want to give out too much. Okay. Well, I mean, we all know he had problems with people that move around the ring. He wants to stand in front of them, and he could pick them apart when you stand right there in front of him. But I plan on doing. I mean, I'm not going to say the game plan, but I plan on doing a little bit of both. I plan on doing moving around. I don't plan on just standing in front. I plan on doing everything that it takes to win.
So again, this is, he's saying do whatever it takes to win, but holding in on the fact that, hey man, we know that he's struggled with moves, and we touched on this show as well. That Shakur Stevenson, or that Shakur as a defensive fighter can be a bad matchup for the likes of Teofimo Lopez, as with TEO, with again Ortiz, Sandro Martin has been or had a track record of struggling with movers in the sport of boxing. Now, fought Barboza, who was trying to move, made a lot better outing against him, though he wasn't, again, not the slickest of, fighters. Even though Barboza was able to go and make, Jose Ramirez look very docile when he was able to beat him. But even still, regardless of which, Teofimo Lopez, we really need to start delving into this conversation. Hey, all right, we got to come to a consensus. Is this brother able to deal with movers or not? And if so, is Shakur going to be able to move like he needs to move to be able to expose that weakness? Now, that sounds like a dumb question, but it's not, because the movers that we've seen for the likes of, Martin, Ortiz, very much, I don't want to say exaggerated, but they're gliding around the ring. Shakur, when he moves, he does move. But again, his biggest thing with distance is, I'm right in front of you, but you can't touch me. I am always in your range, but I'm not deaking and ducking, popping up and down, left and right. Oh my gosh, it's a very refined defense where everything is, I can catch what you got. Shoulder roll, absolutely. But I'm not, outside of the De Los Santos fight, I'm not gliding and jumping out the way to Kingdom Come. I'm taking small steps, half inches, moving back and forth. going through it and using my height and using, again, my defense absolutely to make myself even harder to hit. But more importantly, I'm always in range to make you miss and to make you pay. That does somewhat fall in line with that stand in front of mentality. Even though, again, it's like a barrier that you just can't break through no matter how hard you try. And you get pieced up in the process. So, is Shakur going to fight like that? Or is he going to fight like the likes of, again, a Sandor Martin? Which isn't really how he fights if you watch him fight over the course of his entire career outside of the De Los Santos fight. Even when you want to say Williams Zepeda, when he was indeed start trying to box a little bit on in that fight, he wasn't fighting and moving just all willy-nilly. Even when he was trying to be defensive and trying to, okay, I'm going to take a break from in the pocket and work more so on the outside, he still wasn't just, teleporting back. He was still right in front of you. So the real question is, hey, do you think that Shakur is a mover as a fighter? Do you believe that Shakur Stevenson is a mover of a fighter? Or is he more so a fighter who, he's defensive, he's hard to hit? Absolutely, he's a savant. But he's not necessarily a mover where he's going to be here, there, and everywhere like we've seen with other very, more in-your-face examples, i.e. Caleb Plant, i.e. Tyson Fury. Those types of Richardson Hitchens. From a defensive, I won't say pot shotting, but more so lanky use. Mover. Even Lomachenko was a mover more than anything, even though he wasn't again moving offensively. Here, there, and everywhere. Using the whole of the ring. Angles and all. That ain't Shakur's game as much. So, when he says he's going to move, he's going to move like Sandor Martin, or he's going to move like Shakur? Because if he moves like Shakur normally moves, it could be, you might be right in front of him. You could, potentially. At least from the way that he normally fights. But let me see. I have a feeling it'll be Tom and Jerry. Hope I'm wrong. Lord, I hope so too. I hope so. Boy, I hope so. I do not want in the slightest a record of a fight that is completely boring because nobody's trying to engage. I hope what we saw in sparring between the likes of Shakur and TEO was indeed just a sparring match. And that's not what it's going to look like in real life. Because if it is, my gosh, this fight is already selling good, selling great. I think they're adding seats. There is hype. There is a buzz around the globe for this fight. New York and beyond, here in the States. It's even getting some traction over there in the UK and all across Europe. It's a fight that everybody wants to see. It's a fight that's got a whole bunch of eyes and intrigue invested in it. But it's a fight that can quickly delve into a real bad time. A real bad time. It really can. It truly can. Honestly, it truly can. And in regards to, I'm trying to adjust my, hold on, wait a minute. Trying to adjust my camera just a tad. Just a tad. So we can go through and keep on working. But in regards to the good gosh, what the world? Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. But in regards to, I done lost my train of thought. What was I saying? TEO, Shakur, bore fest. In regards to it being a bore, it can't afford to. If anything, it's built to be, in all actuality, a really exciting fight. Be clear. Be clear about it. It really is built to be an exciting endeavor if everything about this fight shows up as a quality standpoint in this. It really is. I'm dead serious. Also, I'm trying to, and there's still something on the camera. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, we look good now. We look good now. But I digress. This fight has all the makings of a mega fight that everybody wants to see. It's got all the makings of a mega fight that everybody wants to witness. It's got all the makings of a mega fight where two people in their prime, young, hungry, driven, dedicated, as well as has the opportunity to still get better and meet up again. This can turn into a real rivalry. This can turn into a classic, a modern day classic between two of some of the most gifted people in multiple different styles. I want this fight to be something that we talk about for years. Not just because of the spectacle or the build-up, but because of the fight itself. I truly do. But man, as much as it could be that, it could be a very boring affair. It could be a very boring affair, and I don't want that at all. Let me see, Shakur and TEO have lots of skills, but Shakur has a stronger mindset. That's another thing that comes into play. The mindset of Shakur, beyond just the perceived, well, not even perceived, the in-your-face type of slickness. The mindset of Shakur, at least at this point in time, has seemed to be able to hold up a lot better. There hasn't been as many questions with the mental, I don't want to say stability, because I'm not saying anybody's going crazy, but with the mental fortitude in the ring with TEO and Shakur, as well as outside the ring as well. It's been a lot more with Shakur as a solid foundation. Teofimo Lopez, when he's, again, with that mental fortitude, when he's had it, he's been able to beat the best in the world in Lomachenko. When he hasn't had it, he's lost to Kambosos and struggled against Martin and Ortiz. Arguably should have lost that fight with Martin. And has had questions like, do I still got it? And is this worth the time? Am I able to succeed? He's had those types of questions. And outside of being issues have made it so that he's been in a world of turmoil. Completely understandable. But now that he has been able to skirt that off, everything seems to be right as rain. But again, something can happen. That the vulnerability is more on the eye or on the end of Teofimo Lopez. However, you could argue we've seen TEO be able to adapt in more different ways than we have Shakur Stevenson. So if it does come down to somebody needs to adapt and change in this fight, well, it could be that TEO might just have that advantage. Hypothetically. Like we said, when we say that bag is a lot deeper from the standpoint of what he can do in terms of TEO, he's got a lot more avenues that he can delve into and move and flowing as a fighter than what we've seen with Shakur Stevenson. Though Shakur, with what he does, he stops everybody else's game plan, no matter how many game plans that there are. That's the thing. The innumerable ways that TEO can fight versus the one way that trumps all in Shakur. Which one's going to come out on top? That's the matchup. That's the tail of the tape. The man of 1,000 punches versus the man, or the man of 1,000 styles versus the man with one style. Who can conquer who? That's the thing. I got so many other doors I can unlock for how I need to go and fight. Versus with Shakur, I got one main door that I can open a fight. Two, as we saw with Zepeda, I can bang with you and I can go and I can outbox you and outclass you. And these two doors might not be as much of a diverse type of bag from the standpoint of it's refined. Defensively, it is sublime. No question about it. But it is indeed not as many tools as what we see with Teofimo Lopez from just an ability standpoint. But in actuality, it can trump everybody else in whatever their abilities are. So it's an interesting match, done to say the least. Let me see. A lot of. I'm sorry. Let me get back to reading this. Shakur and TEO have a lot of skills, but Shakur has a stronger mindset. A lot of posturing, low punch output. I don't think Shakur will take risks with TEO. He will move a lot. TEO got rid of TEO got rid of the wife. He should be okay. And again, whether that was for and I believe he had trouble. Some custody battle with his wife or rather former wife. Some internal family drama that was going on. Like I said, I'm not in it. We keep it strictly boxing, but that was one of the factors of the many that was affecting TEO outside of the ring. Now that that's good, or rather now that that's finished, seemingly he's able to be focused on this sport and this sport alone, and everything seems to be better for it. Okay, fine, good. All I care about is whether or not in ring you are able to produce. Seems like you can. And the question of whether Shakur will take risks against TEO, the real thing is, TEO is going to force Shakur most likely to have to take risks to win. That's gonna be the thing. TEO's he's gonna force Shakur to have to take risks to win. Because mind you, Shakur, he can talk like he knows the game plan. He knows what it takes to beat him. He very well may have it. But even if you go off of what he was saying directly after they sparred against each other, he was saying, okay, yeah, this fight is gonna be a good chess match because both of us were thinking on a level that, okay, I had to dig more than I normally had to. I had to really, be on my P's and Q's going up against TEO. Not just because of the power, but because boxing-wise, he's thinking along the same lines as me. Some of the same traps that I want to set, he's looking for. Some of the stuff I would do, he does. The game plan when it comes to being very much judicial with your work, both of them are very adept at picking and choosing their spots. They are. And Shakur realizes that. And so, because that's the case, it's not going to be that, TEO is just going to have to, work and he's going to have to bring the fight to Shakur. But it could be a whole other situation. It could get flipped on his head. It could get flipped on his head. That we see TEO force Shakur to have to potentially become the aggressor. Not just because, it's a defensive chess match or a battle, but because, wait a minute, I'm landing the more substantial shots and counters. And now I can fight on the back foot. Shakur, you got to come forward to get me if you want to win this round. And we've seen TEO fight on the back foot before, and it's been able to be successful. When TEO is not chasing, though he showed he can chase, when TEO is not chasing, but he can be hard to beat. Lull you in the counters, got the speed and combinations to go and attack where you're trying to throw, as well as make you miss and make you pay, get out of dodge. He's got feet in his own right. We want to talk about a mover, a real mover. We've seen TEO be able to actually move. Though predominantly he is though dominantly he is driven to be a more aggressive offensive fighter that seeks out the action. I get it. Completely understand. Doesn't take away from the fact that in the reality of what we're dealing with TEO and Shakur, it's not just going to be a one-way street that TEO is going to have to engage. If we see that TEO's starting to get some of the better advantages, and Shakur's got to, he's got to, start coming forward. And okay, you have to sit in the pocket now to secure more fervently some of these rounds. Or come and attack TEO instead of being normally just the counterer. That could spell some danger. That could absolutely spell some danger. Let me see. TEO only has one style that works for him, and that's countering when he chases or tries to KO someone. He doesn't look good. When he KOs, it's now can't really say that because at 135 he was knocking everybody to Kingdom Come. He was knocking everybody to Kingdom Come, and like what they know, when you want to take the Lomachenko fight as the best performance, he went and boxed with Loma. And when he was the last couple rounds, he needed to go and go to war with Loma. Look to do some damage. He won the fight. Absolutely. And the Camboso's fight was one where he was, again, very much not in a good headspace. Still lost the fight. No question, absolutely. Air in his chest and all that was potentially going to kill him. All that stuff is maybe well and good and it's real. But he lost that fight. No question. But when he went to go get Josh Taylor, he looked good doing that. When Josh Taylor was firmly in the pound for pound top 10, he looked great doing that. He looked great when he had a 6-fight KO streak. It was looking like one of the most destructive forces at 135. He going to get somebody is one of the main ways that we can love to see Teofimo Lopez go and work. That's one of the biggest reasons why we want to see this fight against Shakur, because there was anybody offensively that can go through and go get Shakur and make Shakur struggle, it would be Teofimo Lopez at 140. 135 would be the same story, but and arguably more destructive because of the power that he carried at 135. But even still at 140, offensively, he still is one of the most unique figures that this sport has to offer. So I don't think moving up and having to still be the aggressor is necessarily bad for Teofimo Lopez, or that he'll look bad going up against TEO. For TEO going up against Shakur, excuse me. It's just a matter of when we talk about movers, again, the movers, people that were moving around the ring. Shakur doesn't necessarily move like move. He's defensive, but he's also always in front of you. He's just able to keep that almost infinite space condensed in a 2-inch radius. He's not moving like Sandor Martin. He's not moving on average like the likes of even Jermaine Ortiz. He's right there. You just can't hit him. It's an inch or two out, and then he steps back in. But he is there. The more actively moving people that are using the whole of the ring, again, I use Caleb Plant as a perfect example. Those are the people that we've seen TEO struggle against the most. Those are the people that we've seen him, that type of mover is the type of person that we've seen struggle against, or TEO struggle against the most. Changing angles outright, going from here to here. Going from he's in front of you to all of a sudden he's all the way back here. And now you got to go and catch him as he's moving all the way to the right and then all the way to the left. And you're still coming forward. That type of movement is the movement that I've seen TEO struggle with the most. That's the movement that has had TEO in fits. But somebody who is in the defensive style of Shakur, though it can be even more, again, pristine in its defensive quality, it's not the same defensive movement as the likes of Sandor Martin. It ain't. It's great, don't get me wrong, it's better from the standpoint of execution. But style-wise, it's not the same. Because of that style, could be something you can deal with. It could be. Not saying it will, but I'm saying it could be. But let me see. This is what fighters should be doing. This is what fighters should be doing. Fight in their primes, the best versus the best. And like I said, this fight is so intriguing. Because regardless of whether you feel that somebody is ill-equipped to beat somebody else, it's no longer just, oh, okay, he still can't do it. Beyond just a puncher's chance. Both of these people in this fight can elevate to a level we've never seen before. Both TEO and SHAKUR can be in a position where this fight brings out something that both of them are just unlocked in their ability, unlocked in their potential, unlocked in their subsequent ceiling of talent to be able to just go to the roof. It can happen. It can happen. That's what this type of fight can bring out. That's exactly what it can bring out. Remember when TEO went like to death with Nakatani? Wait, hold on. Nakatani? Nakatani? Am I tripping? 122 Nakatani? Nakatani? Wait, hold on. Let me hold on, wait a minute. Before I start questioning, let me look it up. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me look this up real quick. Let me look this up so I'm not looking like a fool. Nakatani, in his 22 fights, did he ever fight with Nakatani? Oh, okay. No. Okay, you talking about Masayoshi Nakatani. Masayoshi Nakatani. That's who you discuss. My bad. I'm sorry. I completely forgot about that fight. Now, that fight, he won 118-110. One on 2 scorecards, 119-109. Unanimous decision. So it doesn't seem like that fight was really close. I'll go back and rewatch it. But I completely forgot about that fight. I don't think he went life or death with him. I think he beat him with ease. But like I said, I'll go rewatch it just to make sure I got that. I can fact check myself. But let me see. Give me reading what y'all got to say. Like with Miss Queen. Miss Queen, how you doing? Good to see. We got people in the chat. Let me start reading a little bit quicker so we can actually catch up with everybody. But Miss Queen, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us on today. Only fight I want to see is Abdul Wahid versus Abdullah Mason. Well, you know what? If Tank, a.k.a. Abdul Wahid, a.k.a. Gervonta Davis, wants to go and fight, he can fight. He can do it. I would love to see it, but he's got to make it happen. Like I said, whenever he returns, if he returns, what is that, 135, 140, whatever the case may be, he's got to make the mark and leave the mark. Because if not, he rates. That's the biggest thing. I don't care if I want to see it. I would love to see that fight. Absolutely. He's got to make it happen. But let me see. Dale Anderson, also, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us on today. Let me see. Hey, Jean-Luc. I don't know if you heard, but you will be glad to know that Jake Paul is not of the rankings of cruiserweight, I believe. Oh, yes. I did hear that. Like I said, hey, thank God. Thank God. Oh, yes. Should have been ranked in the first place. But after that knockout to Jake Paul, after that knockout from Anthony Joshua, he subsequently got nixed from the rankings of cruiserweight, and now he's talked about he wants to get a shot at a title. He wants to get a shot at legit undisputed status. But if he wants it, he's gonna have to rework for it in real time, genuinely. Because right now, buddy, he is on a ship with no sail. And he's been indefinitely suspended. Crazy enough, due to the fact that the brother, with that jaw being broken, until he can fully recover, he can't fight at all. So that might be upwards of a year to a year plus, and a year-long layoff For somebody like Jake Paul, oh, that's going to be bad. That's going to be very bad. That's going to be very bad indeed, which I'm happy about because I don't got to see that brother no more at all in the world of boxing. And it does my heart oh so good to have that brother gone. I tell you what, it has been crazy to say. It's been the joy of my life to watch that downfall because I am gotten sick and tired of that brother being in every single inkling of notion when it came to the world of boxing. And now that he's gone, hey, we can care about the real stuff, the real world of boxing that we actually care about, that we actually want to see take place, and we actually can enjoy on a real perspective. Thank gosh. Thank goodness. My goodness, if it wasn't for that, it would be a very, and I do mean very, very bad time. Now, the baby said we got more people in the chat that we got to make sure that we can read and enjoy. And got people like Al Booger, salute to you as well. How you doing? Thank you for tuning into the show. So happy that you're here with us on today. Don't forget we got we also got more stuff with what's it called? Who is it? Oh shoot, God Eater, hey buddy, what's going on with? Hold on, how you doing? Good to see. I'm sorry, I was trying to make sure that person in chat was who I thought it was. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. We're so happy that you're here with us on today. A ping is on Ray Ping by Neil Grouse. Don't know who that is. Do apologize. If you can inform me, that's a fighter, boxer, or sports person. And you can jog my memory. Love to say it. But right now, don't really know exactly who that is in the ranks of the boxing world. If you know who they are, please enlighten me. I love to learn about boxers across the globe if there's something serious. And hey, love for you to inform me about it. Let me see. Ramon Vasquez. Oh, you talking about the okay, the one that fought. Okay, so it was the one that fought Nakatani. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Appreciate the I appreciate the clarifications nonetheless. It does help me out. I'm not gonna lie, that did help me out a whole bunch. But even still, even still, after going back in the chat, I heard Deion Williams showed up by himself backstage before the Jake Paul fight, and Deion roasted Jake and his whole crew. They ain't do nothing. I mean, is that a surprise? Not really, because they ain't gonna do nothing in the first place. Wait, suspended? I thought that only happens if you miss weight, caught cheating, or not paying section fees. No, indefinitely suspended. If you get injured, I believe it happened to Jen Sasaki as well. Severe injuries or tolls on a fighter, if the commission deems it severe enough, they suspend you indefinitely up until you get a clearance from doctors that you can fight again. What I can understand, it's in order to ensure the security and the safety of fighters, so they don't come back too quickly from very damaging injuries, so that you can actually have a longer career. So they'll suspend you indefinitely. Under our commission, you can't fight until we get doctors' notice that you are indeed free and are able to safely fight again because you've fully been able to heal. That's along with the likes of suspensions and missing weight and getting cheating. That also happens as well. So it's not uncommon with severe things like this. So yeah, I get it. I get what. Now, I wish it wasn't definite because we just want to see him back in the moment. That's a whole other conversation entirely. But let me keep on reading what you all gotta say. Let me see. When TEO tries just to use his power and tries just to KO somebody like Nakatani Kambosos, he gases out. Now, like I said, Nakatani was a tough brother, and he won by it wasn't a close fight between Nakatani and TEO. But yes, gassing out can be an issue. Kambosos, like I said, that chest issue, where he had air I think it was like inside of his lungs, not like when you breathe in, breathe out, but like air inside, like I think like the membrane or something along those lines that could have been fatal. That did affect his performance in that fight. That is true. But on average, with TEO at his best, he can knock you out. But his best incursion is to go through in that. I can box with you and I can go through and decimate you because I'm just that good. I'm faster than most. I'm stronger than most. I am able to adapt better than most. I got all the tools necessary to give anybody a run for their money and beat most, if not all, even amongst the best of the best in the world. So the knockouts, yeah, if they come, they come. And they did. They were able to come about early and often in terms of the KOs when TEO was at 135. Now, as he's moved up, it's not the same. But it is still like with Barboza. Hey, buddy, the reason why Barboza fought the way that he fought against TEO, because that power was indeed holding him at bay to some degree from doing what he wanted to do. Yeah, that's the truth. That is true. Because TEO, it may not be able to knock you out like it used to. Still crack. And you still got to respect it. You still got to respect it. No question. Let me see. Fighters routinely get suspended. Fighters are routinely suspended. It sounds more serious than it really is. Yeah, it is more common from the standpoint of for fighters' safety. That's why it happens a lot. But even still, also, it's a doctor's suspension per se. Yeah, just about, kind of. It's more so of a doctor's suspension. Or until we get clearance, we are not going to allow you to fight here. What was it? Was it Miami? Las Vegas? Wherever the fight was. We ain't going to let you fight under our commission up until we get a clear and present notice that you are free. So that you don't rush back and you don't potentially aggravate or even completely decimate your own livelihood by you returning too much and you aren't really recovering. Which for Jake Paul better be a blessing. Because if he came back when he wanted to, after that, forget a broken jaw. We talking about potentially never being able to speak again. That thing don't hear properly or fully. And he gets caught in that same spot, even by a lesser puncher than Anthony Joshua. Yeah, that can re-break it. And this time a full-blown break. In a negative capacity. Oh, it can be bad. It can be very, very bad. It can be very bad. Which is why that suspension took place for the betterment of Jake Paul. Listen, it's up to the athletic commission of whatever state he fought in. Yep, absolutely. You said it better. Took the words right out of my mouth. That's why Jake Paul is not going to fight. Most likely for the rest of this year. Most likely for the rest of this year, he won't fight. And probably not next year either. Or probably not until next year, most likely. Yeah, see, everybody's on the same page. See, this is why we're here to help you learn and help you understand better parts of the sport. Now, I don't know everything, but other people that do, we can help me out and fill in the blanks. But this is why so we can put everybody on a better notion as to why things happen in the sport. So it's not always a surprise of, oh my gosh, how can this be? So, hey, I'm glad we're all on the same page. But regardless of which, we still got more stuff in the world of boxing that we can cover. And we can actually delve into the world of the championship rounds right here, right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to shine. It's time to work. It's time to let your voice be heard throughout the world of social media and throughout the world of this show in particular. We got 30 minutes to an hour. We want to hear from you on anything involving the world of boxing or beyond, whether it's the NBA, whether it's the NFL, whether it's fights and dream matches that you want to witness, whether it's the NFL playoffs that are now set in stone. And hey, Carolina, we got there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got there. Carolina Panthers, we in the playoffs. Yes, indeed. Yes, it ain't the way that we wanted it to be. We lost to the Bucks, which I hate. We lost to the Bucks, and we should have beat them. We should have beat them. But still, thank goodness for Atlanta. Even though Atlanta, hey, let me tell you something, from a fan's perspective, love the city. But as a fan, that flea-ridden city, I had to rely on those dirty, filthy, nasty birds to come through and pull us through in the playoffs. I hated it, but doggone it, for that day, I loved it. And I love y'all. I love y'all oh so much. Y'all made my dreams possible for the first time in the span of about a decade. Carolina is back in the playoff race, and we're going up against the Rams in our first game out. And yes, indeed, if we beat them before, we can do it again. You're doggone right. You're doggone right. But also, if you want to discuss that, if you want to talk about Lamar Jackson and the incredible disappointment that was the kick by, what was it, Loop, that came through and missed wide right on a game-winning and playoff-clinching field goal that would have sent them to the playoffs instead of the Steelers, and now the Steelers got their spot. It's a shame. It's a shame. And John Harbaugh just got fired. Who knows what they're going to do with the rookie kicker, even though he is a rookie. But one mess up is all it takes. And Lamar Jackson's tenure in the likes of Baltimore may just be coming to an end sooner rather than later, especially with this type of disappointment. When he was playing phenomenal all year long. And to still get let down like this when it wasn't his fault yet again, it's a mess. But all that we can discuss with you all on this show. Next 30 minutes to an hour, we can talk about it all. We want to hear from you. Movies, television, video games, NBA, NFL, all that stuff, boxing. Let's get it started. Let's get it popping. Let's get the championship rounds on the way. And now we want to hear from you. No question. And please leave a like on the stream if you are here. Helps this channel out immensely. No question about it. And please, if you want to give to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, as well as Super Chats and gifts, helps support the channel, helps to bring this to, helps to make the show even bigger and better for you all to witness and enjoy. But let me read what you all got to say. No question about it. I saw the car AJ was in, and he is more now thought surviving that car crash, even if he's in the back seat with only minor injuries. Yeah, like if you got to see the crash, and like I said, for the sake of respect, I'm not going to show the crash on screen, but to describe it, the entire half of the passenger side was completely flattened and almost about cut in half, running into that tractor trailer that was getting parked illegally on the road, which they arrested the person who actually left that thing on the side of the road, not even with any hazards or anything. They wasn't even off the road. It was on the side of the highway, but still in the midst of, you can hit it. Not completely off. Part of the issues with the infrastructure and a lot of the abiding laws with the roads in Nigeria that have been a legit concern for a number of years over there in the country, talked about by their own people. And this ain't me trying to cast dispersion, because Africa and the whole country and the whole continent as a whole is beautiful. Nigeria has some beautiful places. The people are incredible. That's not the issue. It is the infrastructure that's been a problem for anybody, famous or not, that is just legitimately putting lives at danger. That is not okay. And that is something that has to change. Mind you, he was celebrating in his hometown. That's one of his home countries, Nigeria. Lives in the UK, fights out of the UK, but parents and heritage are from Nigeria. So it's a shame that this transpired. And it's a signal we hopefully, and again, I'm not one to speak on governments, because like I said, America, we got our own issues with government right now, going to war and all that stuff with Venezuela over oil that is really, we shouldn't be going to war with at all. It's their stuff. We messing up. And that's a whole nother conversation entirely. But we suck right now. I ain't got no place to say nothing about nothing. Well, I can say, just like we need to fix some stuff over here, they need to fix some stuff over there, because these type of travesties happen often because of the lack of infrastructure set in place for roads and transportation. And it's a problem. It really is a problem. It's a shame to say. Nonetheless, also, Ryan Grace, what's good with you? How you doing? Good to see you. And thank you for tuning into the show. We're so happy that you chose to come through and support with us on stream. Appreciate you tuning in. Can't wait to see your thoughts and opinions. What are your top 5 fights that you want to see this year? I only have one. Now, that's interesting. That's actually that's an interesting conversation. My top. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I gotta get hydrated for this. My top 5 fights. For what I want to see this year. My top 5 fights that I want to see happen in 2026. Number 1, first and foremost, Nakatani versus Inoue. I want to see it because I've been hyping that up for 3 years. I need to see that fight. That's number 1. Number 2, it already got made crazy enough. SHAKUR versus Teofimo Lopez. I wanted to see that fight for a while, and now it's finally happening. Those are my top 5. That's one of them. No question about it. I have been longing to see them get in the ring with each other. And SHAKUR at 140 against this type of test. Yeah, that's one of my other fights. That's number 2. Number 3, as a dream fight, if we can make it happen. If we can make it happen, Virgil Ortiz versus Boots. That's my other one. Good gosh, that's the other one. Lord, that needs to happen. That gotta happen. Boots versus Virgil Ortiz, Javon Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. It's got to happen. That's set in stone. Cause that's too much build up for that. And it's one of the biggest fights that makes all the sense in the world in the championship run for either Virgil or Boots to get quick and in a hurry running up to a championship. It's got that I need that almost more than any other fight. I need that fight more than anything. That's 3. Number 4, let me think. Oh, Benavidez versus Zurdo Ramirez. That's my 4. That's 4. With the way that Benavidez has been looking, the amount of insane acclaim that he would get if he went and fought against Zurdo and beat him, oh my gosh, would be ridiculous on accounts that I can't even describe. That's what when MS came through and said that fight was happening, we said we're gonna wait and see. But if that breaks, oh my gosh, it's gonna be incredible. Now that it actually took place, we're talking about some historic levels of jumping and succeeding in dominance and weight class. If that happens, my goodness, that'll be incredible. And I've been wanting to see what the ceiling of Benavidez is. And if he beats Zurdo, then you get Jai Patai. And that's a whole nother can of worms. That boy, I would love to see that fight. But as excitement, for me, that's my 4th fight that I would love to see. Benavidez and Zurdo, if that in May. That's what I want to see. And then my 5th fight, that's a good question. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Cause that's a good question. Crazy enough, my 5th fight that I was most excited for was Fury versus Anthony Joshua. That was my 5th fight that I was most excited to see of all the big fights that can transpire this year. That was the one I was banking on. As, oh my gosh, this is going to be a spectacle. The biggest all-British war we've ever seen against 2 of the biggest stars in all the world. That was my biggest one, and I wanted to see it. And now because of the crash, it's in jeopardy. But if it does indeed still transpire, that's my 5th one that would be record-breaking, world-breaking from the standpoint of notoriety, hype, intrigue, positioning in the ranks of boxing, heavyweight glory, and finally settling the dispute. Okay? Who would win between the 2 biggest faces that British boxing arguably has ever seen in the modern day and also all time? That's my 5th. That's my 5th. And if it does happen, it would be great. No question about it. But I would love to hear what you all's thoughts are for the fights that you all want to have happen this year. Let me see. Oh gosh, AD's driver. He was called the Valley driver's license. I did not know that. I didn't know. That's a shame. Again, talk about the you can get away with that over there. Sadly, because the lack of adhering to infrastructure from the standpoint of the roads. But again, that's a whole other conversation. It's a shame, absolutely. Nonetheless, it's tragedy all around. Benavidez versus Bivol is That's a good fight as well. Nakatani anyway. Yep, I said that absolutely. Boots versus Ortiz. Yep. Oh, you out in line. We want to see that fight, no question. Jai versus anybody with a belt. Yeah. I mean, the most anticipated is Jai versus Zerto. That's the biggest one. That if I can clamor to see, it's that one. But anybody versus Jai would be a very quality fight to have. It would. I would love to see that fight. I would. Genuinely, I would love to see that fight. Devin Haney versus anybody with the belt. Now, in actuality, no. Not everybody. Though Devin Haney versus Brian Noma Jr., that had the anticipation. All right? But Devin Haney versus Barrios doesn't really have that same pop, per se. Now, Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia for a championship. Okay, now. Hey, we got something now. Okay. Hey there. Hey now. We're looking at that fight. That'll get me up in my seat. With him showing that he got some pop in 147 as well, that'll get me up in my seat. That'll get me up and at him. That'll get me excited. That will get me rolling. Ready to see what can happen. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, indeed. That'll be a fight. That'll be a fight that'll be well worthwhile wanting to watch and see. At 147. Oh, yes, indeed. That'll be a phenomenal for potentially to unify. If we see Ryan Garcia beat Barrios, yeah, I'd want to see that fight. I might just have to switch out one of my fights with Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. I might just have to switch it, as it's potentially more likely to happen than the likes of Fury versus Anthony Joshua, even though that fight, potentially, depending on how AJ chooses to go about, could still transpire. But if he retires, straight up, yeah. Devin Haney Garcia, that as a hyped up fight. Oh, yeah, I want to see that. A bidding Zerto on 200 pounds would be great. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. That would be ridiculous. That would be insane if Benavidez goes about and actually accomplishes that type of feat. A Talma versus the top 20 guy. Yeah. But I feel like he would beat. In all honesty, I'm thinking right now, Talma's above as a skill perspective. He's above that top 20 caliber. I'm looking for a top 15, top 10 at this point on. Now, again, we fighting Jermaine Franklin on the right track. Now you go up and fight. You got Hergovich in the top 10. You got the buddy that fought Jermaine Franklin. I wouldn't be mad at him fighting with also. So, but yeah, him against the top 20 with the way that his maturation as a fighter is transitioning. I'll be excited to see that, especially over there in the UK, on a big stage, potentially on an undercard. I would love to see him in the States in a heavyweight clash on the undercard of a major fight. I dare say, hey, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. I would love to see that fight with most of the time on undercard against somebody. Shoot, a Talma versus Richard Torres on an undercard of a Devin Haney Ryan Garcia fight. Or if Tank returns of a Tank fight, Benavidez fight, I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Wouldn't be mad at that at all. Navarrete versus Nunes might be fight of the year nominee. Oh yeah. Now with all the action that happened and everything that was getting lined up, that kind of fell under the radar. But no, Navarrete versus Nunes, that's going to be, like with every Navarrete fight, that's going to be a very hostile war. That's going to be a very hostile war that I want to see. Again, the wacky, wavy, inflatable, arm-flailing tube, man. That is Navarrete with those uppercuts that come from the floor to the door somehow, some way. He's getting, again, he's crazy enough to say he's getting better technically. That brother, he's going to be a menace. He's going to be a menace, man. I want to see it. Tank versus Shakur. Well, of course, that's the fight everybody wants to see. And that's the fight that's most intriguing if Tank did indeed come through and performed to fight at this level of championship opportunity. Because he's at the point in time, he can still get whatever fight that he wants. He can still call for success if he so chose. But he's got to go and do the work. He's got to get back in the ring. He's got to actually look to fight these folks. If he ain't looking to fight these folks, well, he's going to be up a creek without a paddle yet again. But I would love to see that fight. Welch versus Carell, rematch to last year, Fight of the Year nominee. Yep. Oh, yeah, that is happening. I believe that is happening. I can't remember when exactly what the date is, but that would be a very good fight that I would love to see happen again. L finally coming back if he does. Or L finally coming back if he does come back. Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that. Oh, my gosh, I forgot. Yeah, another, forget, hey, it's not even an opponent. The opponent don't matter. Just a fight, the almost 4-year, highly anticipated bout between L. Spence Jr. and anybody would be a very high marker for anybody to achieve or to want to sit down and see. Because, my gosh, we just want to know, hey, buddy, do you still got it? Or are you going to just call it quits? Are you just going to be done? It's kind of like with Gennady Golovkin. We thought Gennady Golovkin would come back for one more fight. And he kept on eking on retirement, not fighting, but not actually officially being done. And he ultimately said, yeah, I'm done. And now he's the president of the Olympics for boxing board. But I'm gonna tell you, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's now or never. It's now or never. It's now or never. It's now or never. I don't care what anybody else has to say. It's now or never. Either Spence comes back or he's done. Either he comes back or he's done. I don't want to hear no more speculation because either he commits to something and he actually shows up, or that buddy needs to call it quits. He needs to call it quits. One final ring belt and say, yep, I'm retired. There's no issue with him being retired, but he's got to make a decision. Right now, it ain't happening. It is too much flux, too much action going on that you're still a hold up in the conversation of boxing. Right now, you're afterthought. You're a big afterthought because everybody still wants to see you, but you're an afterthought nonetheless. And if you don't fight this year, I'm just going to say you done. I already said I don't think he's coming back. I've said that, 2-3 times now. And I'm standing by it. I don't think he's coming back this year. I don't think he's coming back this year. No question about it. I don't think so. Now, I hope I'm wrong, but my gosh, I don't believe it. People can say what they want about Ryan, but at least he's not tanked. Yeah, at least he's getting back in the ring. That's the biggest thing. At least he's fighting and looking to take on legit challenge. Yeah, you can talk about he's a cheater and all that stuff. Hey, look, again, the PEDs messed up, absolutely. No question about it. We've gone through all the evidence about how that whole thing transpired. He's still pop dirty. No question, no problem. He's gone off the rails. No question, no problem. He's been crazy in the worst way possible. Absolutely. But in the ring, we can at least say he's coming to bring it. We can at least say he's coming to bring it in one way or another. In one way or another. Let me see. I actually have Shiraz. I actually have 5 in terms of your fights that you want to see. Shiraz versus Iglesias. Mason versus Schofield. Garcia Haney 2. Zayas versus Majimov. Benavidez versus Benavidez. Wow. Okay. Zayas versus Majimov. That's a fight I never thought about. I'm not going to lie. I never thought about that fight. I never thought about it now, again, because I was thinking ahead. I was thinking about, Zayas versus Boots, Zayas versus potential Fondor, all that stuff. But as a litmus test and a legit challenge, Zayas versus Majimov is a very compelling fight. That's a very compelling fight. That's a very hard fight for both Zayas and for Majimov. Majimov dealing with that type of height, and then Zayas dealing with that type of movement. Dealing with that type of that herky-jerky unpredictability with some solid power to boot. if you get caught wrong, yeah, it's an interesting endeavor. That's an interesting fight I'd want to see. That's a very interesting fight I would want to see. I didn't even think about it. And the Benavidez versus Beterbiev, yeah, as a slugfest of a war. I'd want to see that, especially if it was for a title. Especially if it was for undisputed, depending on if we got Archie Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol in their third clash. And then Benavidez moved back down after beating Zerto at cruiserweight to take the light heavyweight title. If that's the case, oh my gosh, that would be insane. And Billy versus Martinez too would be good as well. I'm starting to think, as much as that fight would be a great fight, I'm starting to think that fight's not happening. I'm starting to think that fight's not happening. I really don't, because I think now they got other plans in the works for the Billy, Shiraz, and Diego Pacheco kind of reign at 168, with also Canelo back in the mix, recovering from shoulder surgery, and looking to get back into the fray of the boxing world. As we can actually pull it up right here for us to see, and where's that? There was a video of Canelo training, isn't it? Because again, everybody's still chasing that Canelo bag. Be clear. They're still chasing the Canelo bag. They're still chasing the want to go and fight him. And as of right now, we can see it's light. And I think he's like back at his home. But he's getting ready to return back to the ring, as you can see in as we shift over into the old picture-in-picture. The brother's back, working off of I think it was elbow surgery. They was working off of and getting to be able to get more comfortable. He's moving like that again, which, hey, is good. It's fine. It's all well and great, because now the division's, again, hot yet again. But because of this, I don't think we're going to get Martinez versus and Billy. More likely we get Martinez versus Diego Pacheco. Or if something falls through with the fight with Shiraz and his championship opportunity, well then, him versus Billy. Fight against you. At least that's the picture I can see painted as we keep on watching this trajectory of 168 continue to evolve and flourish. Let's see, imagine returning soon at 160. Whoa, he's moving up. Wait a minute, hold on. He's moving up. He's moving up. When did that happen? He's moving up. I did not know Majimov was moving up. I didn't know Majimov was moving up. If he is moving up, I don't know how successful he's going to be. Because I don't know how his stamina is going to be able to hold out. Because even when he's not sick, that movement at 154 takes a lot for him to, it's a lot on his own body. By the time the end of the fight comes, adding that, 6 pounds of muscle, or just weight, that's going to be an interesting endeavor to see how he's able to handle it. But regardless of which, if he's going there, okay, fine. Adames, we can see you fight against him. Janibek, we can see you fight against him. Hypothetical. Lara, don't forget, Lara's still reigning at the top of the division. He can, well and good, potentially earn a shot up there, especially with the division being not necessarily as deep with talent as we've seen with other divisions, which, again, 160 is not as, dense with the level of quality. Could make him up for another championship, hypothetically. He could. He really could. Munguia, Dr. Glacius, you know what? Yep, he did. He did. I just saw it right here. And in fact, I can pull up the I can pull it up right here right now. Glacius was supposed to fight Jaime Munguia, and Munguia instead of coming through and taking the fight, said, nah, I'm going somewhere else. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a real shame because he turned down the fight. Munguia he's officially turned down the chance to fight Olays Iglesias for the vacant IBF super middleweight title. The IBF will now go down the rankings and approach the next available contender. Mind you, Iglesias was the full-blown IBF champ with the likes of Terrence Crawford, relinquishing all the belts and whatnot because he retired. So now, Iglesias is one of the dogs you got to go through. That includes Canelo's got to go through him. That includes Munguia. That includes anybody at 168, Shiraz and others. And this cat can crack with the best of them. And is a scary puncher. And is a dangerous opportunity for anybody to take. And Munguia turned him down. Turned him down. Canelo also didn't fight him, but I think it was also, but I believe, again, elbow surgery. The shoulder elbow, one of the two surgeries that he had to get fixed. So, like, that, we can give that a pass for now. Once he gets back to fully recover, okay, we can see what happens. But regardless of which, Iglesias, brother, it seems like nobody wants to fight this cat. It seems like nobody wants to step to the table with this brother. Nobody wants to step to the table with this cat. Nobody wants to step to him because he's a bad dude. He's a bad man. Iglesias is a scary brother in the ranks of 168. Horrifying. Maybe Shiraz will fight him. Maybe. If he can't get into what to fight, maybe Shiraz will go at him. I just don't know. I don't know. We have to wait and see. Let me see. It said middleweight in the schedule on ESPN. Oh, okay. So it says middleweight on the schedule in ESPN. Well, shoot. Again, I had no clue that he had moved up. Again, that's just an interesting matter. That is a surprise to me. I'm gonna say it's the most blatant duck I've seen. Yeah, no, it is. It absolutely is one of the most blatant ducks. Because he should have fought him. He should have. Especially when it's in the sense of, with all respect to Munguia, you're not going to have a whole bunch of championship opportunities left in your career with the way that you've been fighting of recent. You better take what you can get and make the most of it. Because right now, buddy, I don't see you working your way back up to that level again. I don't. Top opportunity fell in your lap after you, again, getting knocked out by Shiraz, beating Shiraz with him popping dirty. It's, oh boy. Oh my. Might want to pass this up while you got the chance. Let me see. It is maybe a money thing. Iglesias is not really a big name. Yeah, he's not as huge of a name. Again, big risk. A potential high reward with the championship, but low risk from the standpoint of notoriety. But still, he's a champ. You got to go through him. He ain't asking for people not to fight him. People got the opportunities. Everybody just saying no. That's not his fault. That's a duck. Because it would be different if it was, okay, you don't got a belt. You're building up your name. You're a big threat. You're not a huge persona. Fine. But he's got a championship. So it's like, buddy, the only risk that you're taking is you might not be champion. Also, we got some work outside, so my apologies if you hear some noise brewing. But even still, it's not his fault. Like he's the champ. He got the belt. He earned the belt. If you want to get the belt, you got to go through him. And you passing up on championship opportunities when you don't have a championship in your own right doesn't make any sense to me. Especially when, again, like I said, you won't get these chances again, most likely, for a hot minute. It's a danger. It's a danger. Considering Munguia got knocked out by someone that wasn't even ranked, in Shiraz, in any sanctioning bodies, it can't be the money. Yeah, I don't think it's the money. Because this would have been more money. Because it would have won a championship. But he could have gotten it, could have leveraged it to get more money against other people. But he chose not to do it. I can't say nothing, but hey, that's a duck. I can't say nothing but that's a duck. I can't say nothing but that is a duck. It's a shame. Let me see. Troy Williams from the UK. He's ranked 6th in the world. Shiraz has a fight, I think, and we're talking about Troy Williams at 168. Fight against Shiraz. Then great. No problem there. No problem at all. Also, let me see, Boxing Nerd, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us on today. Troy said he wants to smoke on Twitter. I'm down for it. I am down for it, absolutely. No question. And hey, look, if Troy doesn't get that fight, call out Iglesias. If something happens in that fight where Hamzat falls through, call out Iglesias. Let it be known. Let it happen. Let it transpire. Because, like I said, I am all for threats, but I hate when threats get ducked. Especially when if you're the man to beat the threat, you would get a huge zeal in your push to start him. But my gosh, it's a crying shame. It really is, because it's like the brother deserves a fight. Shoot, I wouldn't be mad if Hamzat fought against him. I would not be mad at all if Hamzat Shiraz fought against Iglesias at 168 to unify the titles. I would not be mad at all. Not at all. It make all the sense in the world to me. Yeah, absolutely. Polanco versus SHAKUR is a very that fight's happening. Wait a minute. Hold up a second. That fight's that's happening. Oh my gosh. That's gonna be a great fight. That's gonna be a phenomenal fight. Polanco versus SHAKUR. Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's we eating good this year. We are eating good this year. Polanco versus SHAKUR. That's gonna be such a good fight. That's gonna be. I had no clue that fight was even getting made. See, Ryan, brother, you can't be doing it. You get my hopes up. I thought that fight had been announced and it gone under my nose. Oh, dang it, man. Dang it. I was so excited for that fight to happen. Oh, shoot. Dang it. Boy, it's not happening. I'm just saying it would be. See, you're getting my hopes up. That would be such a good fight. That would be such a good fight. Oh gosh, that'll be such a good fight. Dang it, I thought it had been announced and I was about to hype that fight up to Kingdom Come. I was about to tell everybody I know. And that was about to be one of the premier fights that I couldn't wait to live stream here with y'all. If that fight had got announced and I thought it had gotten announced, dang it. Oh, that was going to be such a good one. That was going to be such a good one. Let me see. That's what I meant. Troy said he's down to fight. Okay, so you mean he's down to fight Iglesias for the IBF as he's ranked. Okay, so he said he wanted to. Okay, good. That's great. Iglesias, you got somebody who wants to smoke. Make the smoke happen. Okay, that's good. No problem there. I'm down to see it. Absolutely. Let me see. Y2J breaking news. No, wait a minute now. Hold on. Let me check it. Is this real? Let me make sure. I know it was slated for May. It was scheduled for May. Has it now officially been confirmed? Has it now officially been confirmed that Nakatani versus Inoue is officially signed, sealed, and delivered? Let me look it up right now. Hold on. Hold on a minute. We searching. We waiting. We anticipating. Yep, here we go right here. Yeah, yes, sir. Here we go. The wait is finally over, y'all. As of 6 hours ago. Inoue versus Nakatani expected to take place in May at the Tokyo Dome. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman has stated officially an all Japanese super fight for Inoue's undisputed and lineal super bantamweight championship. Oh, it's happening, y'all. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. The day we've been waiting for. The ultimate crescendo on careers that have been incredible. My gosh, it can transpire right here this month in May. Lord willing, if everything stays afloat, we about to have the time of our lives, man. We're about to have the time of our lives. And don't let anybody fool you. I repeat, don't let a soul try to steer you away from the fact of the matter. This fight is one of the most impactful fights, not just for the resumes, but for the whole of this sport right now. This fight is going to be in Japan. It is a needle mover. It is a work of art from a talent standpoint, a stylistic standpoint with the matchup, and from a quality standpoint with the fighters involved. Monetarily, it's got everything that you would want. It's gonna break records over in Japan, I almost assure you. Legacy-wise, this drives and bolsters somebody's career up to the stratosphere. Specifically, if we see Inoue win, what this does for Inoue's career, with, again, breaking Larry Holmes' record, 4 times in a year defending the Ring Magazine belt, going up and having 27 consecutive championship defenses, beating the likes of Joe Louis. We're looking at something that is a mythical level of dominance that can be capped off by this win and then transition up to 126. And if he can go and dominate that up there, we're talking about one of the greatest we've ever seen. We already are. But in the threshold of all-time acclaim, GOAT conversation level, he's working his way up there. He's working his way up, and it's going to be oh so special. It's going to be so special, man. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for that fight. I can't wait for that fight. It's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a slobber knocker. It's going to be one of the best things we can witness. Absolutely. Let me see. Karn turned down the fight with Polanco last year to go from 175K with boots to 70 to 120K against a contender. Karn don't want that. I mean, hopefully he changes his mind. Hopefully he changes his mind, because I want to see that fight. Karn better take that fight, because that's a quality fight. That's a quality fight. From the standpoint of matchup closeness, and Polanco is getting a name in his own right, yeah, you better believe that's a fight that Karn, especially with the fight that you had with Boots, that had me respecting you, because it did deserve respect. I don't know why you want to take that fight with Polanco. I don't know. Again, from my perspective, I don't understand why, but even still, hopefully we make it happen. Because if so, it will be great to witness. Absolutely. Let me see. This is gonna be the toughest fights. Nakatani better not guess out early against Inoue. No, he better not. And I'm gonna tell you this. That left straight, with how fight changing it is. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens if Inoue gets caught with it. Now, at the same breath, with the relentlessness of Nakatani, or that Hernandez put on Nakatani, has a little bit of a different hue on what that fight's going to look like, which again we will talk about later on this week, be clear. But the perspective of temperature, it's still hot, but it's hot leaning towards Inoue after what we saw against Hernandez with what Nakatani did in his debut at 122. How much of that fight was the simple fact that it was his first time at 122 fighting at this level? Or is it really that this division, Nakatani won't be able to be the same type of fervent fighter that he was at 18 or 115? How much is it that the division might actually just be a step too far for him to be able to come up and succeed at the same high level? It could be, again, these are the questions that are going to come about as this fight continues to draw closer and closer. Salute to the Japanese making the biggest fight in the nation. Unlike AJ and Fury and Canelo Benavidez, yeah, they ain't wasting no time. That's the thing. They ain't wasting no time, which I'm so happy for. Also, more news, Virgil Ortiz's manager is making jokes about fans having to get a sugar mama for tickets to the Boots and Ortiz fight. Could mean that the fight might be made. And you know what? Piggybacking off of that, there was actually something else that he put out on social media, alluding to the fact that fight might actually be taken, that the fight might be confirmed. Where is it? If I can find it. Here it is. He put out these two tweets previously before this one, talking about essentially doing the Tiger Woods emoji of him dapping up somebody after making a putt, essentially saying, yeah, hey, we got it. And this was the caption: when fights get done. And also going in and showing in the next clip or next picture, ring gear. Brandon Ring or John Ennis posting ring gear in regards to him training and sparring in the gym. Both of them essentially signaling, or at least pseudo-signaling, that fight may have been confirmed to happen. In light of also the tweets that we saw with the promoter afterwards, again, like you said, people have to get the baby mamas to help pay for these tickets and all that stuff. Everything's starting to point to maybe this fight is confirmed. Maybe. And if so, it's about doggone time. It's about time. We've been waiting too long, playing too many games. We need to see this fight take place as quick as possible. Quick and in a hurry, because we ain't gonna do well. I'll tell you what, I'm not wasting no time. The boxer was moving too far on. I want to see it. And I dare say, I can't believe anything up until an official announcement comes into play. If I don't get no official announcement, I can't say nothing with nothing. I can't say nothing with nothing on whether or not that fight's going to happen. I can't. I refuse to. I refuse to say anything involving that fight happening or not unless we see an official announcement. Because right now, they've both been playing games for too long. Let me see. At least we get Murtala versus Cruz right before this. Bro, Canelo versus Benavidez would be the biggest fight in the world. Yes, it would. And it might be bigger than Canelo Crawford. From the standpoint of it would be. From the perspective of, now, from a viewership perspective, it might not be. Because again, it was on Netflix. I don't know if we're going to get Canelo and Benavidez on Netflix. It could be there. I would hope it would get there, but it might not get there. But from the standpoint of bigger as a legacy fight, the build-up for that fight fits the bill that, hey, everything is moving up to where this would be one of the most impactful fights, not just in Mexico, but for both of the careers of two of some of the biggest and most polarizing stars in all of boxing. One who was denied an opportunity to get his shot at the Golden Goose in the likes of Canelo. And the other in Canelo, who was seemingly running away from Benavidez to hold on to his throne. But a fight that, hey man, I'm the new face of Mexico. Hypothetically, I'm the new face of this Viva Mexico type of persona. The embodiment of the people. I should have been ready to have my shot to get there. And you didn't, and you denied it to me by not even giving me the chance, running, ducking, in all regards. And it's a shame. And because of that, this fight's got bad blood, animosity, even with the losses already. it's like, it's a fight that, again, it's one of those non-negotiable fights. So we've called it on the show before, a non-negotiable. Regardless of what happens in both of their careers, specifically with Canelo, it's a non-negotiable that fight with Canelo and Benavidez has to happen. It's got to. Or else there will be a point in a hole, specifically in Canelo's career, that will never be filled, that will cap a level of greatness he can get up to, at least in my estimation. And so that's what I need to see. That's all I need to see. Canelo versus Crawford was born. It was not born. Hey, look, I can. It was not born. That was not born. That I don't know. That we watched it live on this show. That was not born. It was one-sided. But I guarantee you, at least to my perspective, that was not boring at all. That wasn't boring. That was great. That was a phenomenal fight. For real, that was a phenomenal fight. And mind you, it wasn't a fight that we needed to see from the standpoint of, it wasn't, again, on the level of Canelo and Benavidez. But the history involved, coupled with what can happen, was so spectacular that it was like, man, I can't overlook that. This is, this is something that we may never see again. Which is why I was intrigued with it, absolutely. No question about it. Let me see. Can we get a short breakdown for Boots versus Virgil and Inoue versus Nakatani, two of the biggest fights of the year? And I'll give you a short one. And later on this month, again, we're going to be talking more about these fights in bigger depth. Short breakdown for Boots and Virgil. It is essentially, the question is, can Boots' chin hold up to the power of Virgil Ortiz? He's been using it as a real testing tool a lot of times coming up at 147. As well as, can the power of Boots hurt the likes of Virgil Ortiz, which I think it can. But again, we have to wait and see. And with the all-around deep bag of Boots, with the fast twitch muscles, with the instincts, with the ability to go and change on the fly, can fight. Shoot, he can't choose to fight orthodox or southpaw. He can box as well as brawl. He can be a mover. He can be a counterpuncher. All those different layers. Can they beat the destructive one-track mentality that has decimated this entire division in the likes of Virgil Ortiz, with him being a very much a hooker in the best way possible? Destroying everybody in his way, being able to be patient. He showed the ability to box as well when he boxed with Madrimov, waited for him to get tired, and then went and brawled with him. With the body attack of Madrimov, can the skill of Boots and more importantly, the physical advantage that many people have Boots having in this fight with Virgil Ortiz, can that overshadow not just the experience, but the power and chin of Virgil Ortiz? Again, there's a lot more nuance to that, but as a quick synopsis, that's essentially what we're dealing with. Can the newfound or the new perceived future king of this sport in Boots Ennis, one of the biggest names that's looking to be, in a couple years, a legit pound for pound top 5 to top 3 level contender, can that run start to this year by beating Virgil Ortiz, or will it be stagnated by the continued dominance of Virgil? And will the Prince have to wait longer for that crown to be put on his head? That's the question. And at 154 is a completely different game. Bigger bodies. Boots could be better because he's able to fill out more often. Absolutely. At the same breath, dealing with bigger punishment that could potentially go and hurt him to his core. And they can be an insane level of talent. So I would love to see how it goes. And with Inoue and Nakatani, I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. It's length versus speed. It's power against power, but it's the sharp, quick, destructive nature of Inoue versus the long, and the long but active precision of Nakatani with them working to the body and to the head, specifically with that left straight and uppercut. Will Nakatani counter in a way like we've seen with others like Neri, like with Cardenas, to put him down and potentially keep him down? Or will Nakatani succumb, just like all the others, to the power, the speed, the IQ, the instantaneous reactions, and the all-around computer of a mind that is Naoya Inoue, one of the greatest fighters we've had in the modern-day history of the sport? That's what it comes down to. My gosh, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. And that's why I'm so excited for it. No question about it. But let me keep on reading with you all. I gotta say, Virgil isn't disciplined when fighting southpaws. He might get hurt. Might get hurt bad, but Virgil is very explosive. Nakatani can only fight comfortably when guys are smaller than him. Like I said, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out because Inoue is indeed smaller than Nakatani. But we just saw what Inoue was able to do against somebody that was of the height of Nakatani, like with Alan Picasso. Similar height, similar reach. Working against not a southpaw, yes, but still a good attack with that lead hand, that lead left hand, with the jab and uppercut downstairs to the body. And he was able to nullify that in all capacity. Alan Picasso is a tough dude. So it's going to be a very interesting dichotomy of talent. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see how it goes. No question about it. Trying to keep on reading to see what you all got to say. Then Majima has active guards. Oh, yes, he does. Absolutely. Let me see. That's true. Boots needs to keep a tight defense and not rebound and counter off getting clipped on the chin clean. And again, he did a better job of that against Stanionis. Though again, he was more so, still moving his head a lot more. Still, skinning the cap per se, leaning back, countering with uppercuts to the body on Stanionis up until he ultimately knocked him out to the body. But he was still that type of discipline. If that stays place here against Virgil, don't be surprised if we can see Boots take this fight. It's not about just eating the shot. It's about being able to not get the shots landed on you in the first place. Discipline is a real, substantial necessity. It's a substantial necessity. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. And when it comes to the likes of Boots, he's been able to operate without it. Because he's been that great, yes. But at the same breath, being able to operate with it makes him oh so much more special. He's going to need that level of discipline against Ortiz. He's going to need it. I don't care how much you may feel his athletic ability is so far above. I don't care how much you may feel his power can carry. I don't care how much you feel that his ability is going to be, is indeed second to none to anybody else at 154. That is all well and good in speculation. But the reality is, all of that can go in a heartbeat with one quick shot if we don't see him be disciplined defensively against the likes of Virgil Ortiz. It's a non-negotiable factor. Because if it isn't, it's going to be bad. It's going to be very, very bad. And that's why this fight is so exciting. That's why this fight is so exciting. Because I want to see how it goes. I want to see how it goes. No question about it. But let me see. Last couple chats, and we're going to get on out of here. Because like I said, we're 30 minutes to an hour. We're about at that hour. And so we do want to make sure we can save stuff for tomorrow and for Friday as well. So it's going to be exciting to see what comes on through tomorrow. Majimov arguably beat Crawford. Now, I don't think he beat Crawford. Crawford beat him by winning those last 2 rounds. However, it was the toughest fight of his career. It was. That was the most struggled outside of Gamboa. That was the hardest fight I saw Terence Crawford in. He still won it decisively. And by the scorecard, he won it unanimously, which he's won every fight by either unanimous decision or by KO, which is ridiculous. But still, yeah, it's something. Better watch out from the standpoint of Majimov because he's still a threat against anybody. But I believe he deserved the unanimous decision against the likes of Majimov. Let me see. That Cardenas Inoue stoppage with no, it was. Wait a minute. No, it was not. I don't think it was. Cardenas was ready to go. And he went. He was ready to go. He got knocked down. He got knocked down again. And he was getting ready to get stopped in the corner. And he wasn't able to defend himself properly. He was shelling up, but he was a defeated man. Not in a negative light, but he in a way got him. Like the punishment was only going to get worse and worse. I'm all for getting a clean KO, but also like the ref's job is to take care of the fighter. And the fighter was about, if he had kept on going, that fighter, Cardenas was about to be in a bad way. A really bad way, health detrimental. If he had kept on saying, yep, keep on counting and getting up and getting knocked down again, that would have been bad. That would have been really, really bad. Let me see. Everybody has different opinion, and it's mixed with most boxing. It is. It absolutely is. To be mentally locked in for 36 minutes straight is a superpower, and it makes adjustments in 12 rounds. The fight is amazing to watch. Crawford did it time and time again. Thank you. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Thank you. Yes, he did. Absolutely. I think there are too many undefeated guys at 154, and that's why the division's starting to move, because somebody's going to lose. Somebody's going to start losing, and it's going to be great to see. I will miss Bud. Look, I will as well. I think everybody will one of a kind, no question about it. MC Vol Greenhill, last chat, and then we're going to end this show off and get ready for tomorrow and Friday. Let me see what you all got to say in response to today, and thank you for tuning into the show. Can you see Taker making a comeback this year? If so, who do you think he fights? He fights. That's a great question. Actually, no, I think we touched on this last week. I think we touched on this last week in one of the shows of who Tank should fight next. He's got names like O'Shaquie Foster, Abdullah Mason's on the radar. 140, he's opened up, or at least reportedly his team has said he's opened up to fight at 140. That puts Devin Hayden, that puts Teofimo Lopez, that puts Richardson Hitchens, Gary Antoine Russell Alden, that puts them there. However, I can't say he will come back at all up until he actually does. Because even though I want to see him come back, rematch Lamar Welch, for example, at 140. Rematch Isaac Cruz at 140. He's got to make the decision. Because if not, it's all for naught. It's going to be all for naught. It's a shame. It's a shame. None. Does Tank will probably fight Cruz, Murtala, Zepeda, or Herrera. Crazy enough. All those are great names. I'm the same boat as with Tyson Fury. I don't know if Tank will fight him. Because I don't know if he thinks that they're worth the time of money. Because he's about money. I don't care what he thinks about legacy. It's about the money. Same thing with Tyson Fury. And I have no confidence that he will commit to performing like that against those types of legit names. I just don't see it. Up until he makes it happen. But we'll see how it goes. Let me see. Thanks for the podcast. Welch, you're an amazing commentator. Hopefully you get a commentating job in a boxing show one day. Hey, look, I hope so. Like I said, we talk about everything involving not just boxing. We do this for the NBA and NFL. We just primarily do boxing because that's what y'all are coming here for. We used to cover all this stuff all the time. The audience just kept clamoring towards the boxing content. So we're going to keep it in boxing and have the other stuff as kind of more of an icing on the cake. But hey, I can do it all with anything. No question about it. Because I'm a bad brother. I'm a bad man. I'm a bad brother. I'm a bad dude when it comes to this entertainment game. But like I said, we can, all the pleasantries and stuff, we appreciate it. No question about it. But we're going to go and end the show and get ready for tomorrow. We got to do 3 days back to back, today, tomorrow, and Friday, because we missed and weren't able to do Tuesday. We weren't able to do Tuesday afternoon. No question. We got to end off the show real quick. Let me see. And the Hoosiers are going to win up. Hey, look, you better be careful. Miami might take it. Hey, now, Miami might get there. Hoosiers, look, Indiana, they went and Indiana, number one ranked team in the world, they went roughshod over, I believe they ran roughshod over Alabama. Destroyed them. Nick Saban's probably rolling over in his bed, reading playbooks as we speak, driving down to Alabama himself to get ready to take back that coaching job after that type of abysmal performance. However, with all that being said, mark my words, Miami, high hopes. Me personally, high hopes. Miami wins the Natty this year. High hopes Miami wins the Natty this year. My God, I just want to see Michael Irvin and Ray Lewis go insane, go crazy, and they got momentum. They got some serious momentum. So be careful. Don't over. If Miami, I believe it's Miami versus Ole Miss that's playing. I think this weekend or this Friday. I believe it's them. Don't be surprised if Miami beats Ole Miss. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Hey, look, like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. College may not be the most fruitful, knowledgeable thing that I got in my arsenal. But I know what I know. And I know that Miami better not be underestimated. No question about it. But in the end, most likely it's going to get to. Most likely they're going to get to national championship. But who can beat them? That's the question. But don't be surprised if Miami gets there and meets them there. Because it's going to be an exciting endeavor. Nonetheless, Majimov did beat Bud. Okay, we should thank you. Yes, see, Majimov did beat Bud. No, he did not. He did not. No, he didn't. No, he did not. He did not. He did not. Again, there's a lot of opinions. But he won that, in my opinion. Deserved unanimous decision. He got the unanimous decision on the last 2 rounds of that fight. It was neck and neck up until rounds 11 and 12. Close endeavor, no question. But I believe he beat him soundly. Again, that's a whole other debate and a whole other conversation. But we got to go and end off the show so we can go and let y'all get some rest and I can prepare for tomorrow afternoon. So with all of that being said, this has been an episode of The Watchable with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the show. It's been a phenomenal endeavor. We appreciate all of you came in and supported on the stream. Thank you to everybody who came in and chatted. All of your support. You all were phenomenal and made this show so special. Be sure to leave a like on the stream before you get on out of here. Please, because it helps out the algorithm immensely. Comment your thoughts and opinions on what you like and didn't like about the show before you leave. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Come on and join the empire. Hit the notification bell and share the show with everybody you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. All with you and your support, we can make this thing so special. We can make it possible to reach the zenith of the hottest show in all the globe right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. Rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to your local podcast, and also be sure, if you can, if you would like to support the channel, we got Cash App and PayPal links down below in the description, as well as super chats, super gifts, and stickers and whatnot. All that stuff. If you can support the channel, it will mean the world to me to help to invest back into the show to make it bigger, better, and stronger, all for your viewing and listening pleasure. Helps me to pay the bills, helps me to pay off some other things as well, but also helps us to come through and just, support this channel and make it so that we can grow all the more rapidly. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for listening. We'll be back tomorrow covering the world of boxing and beyond. Be sure to tune in, same time, same place, same channel. Listen to us on podcast at the end of the day, because this podcast will be live on every available podcasting platform. And I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. We right here. Yes, sir. We gonna see you all on Thursday. Be safe, be blessed, and we out.